Saskatchewan takes on Ottawa on the road to the Grey Cup on CBC Sports. The Ottawa Roughriders are troubled, but they have known what it's like to be successful. Once upon a time, an outstanding quarterback named Tom Clements led them to a Grey Cup win. But the Riders were never able to find another Clements. They passed on a young quarterback named Tom Burgess, dealing him to Saskatchewan 2 years ago. Burgess struggled in his first season out west, but his perseverance is a large part of the reason for the Saskatchewan Roughriders being atop the standings. Meanwhile, after signing Damon Allen, the Eastern Riders think they're finally back in the quarterback derby. They have yet to win, but they've come close because Allen moves the team. He is second in the CFL in passing yardage. Ottawa's head coach, Steve Goldman, shudders to think how much further away from victory his team would be without Allen. His Saskatchewan counterpart, John Gregory, looks at his record and knows he has one of the CFL's finest young quarterbacks. Tonight, Allen and Burgess lead the Eastern and Western Riders on the CFL on CBC. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Taylor Field in Regina, home of football's most faithful fans. They waited patiently for a decade for the Saskatchewan Roughriders to become contenders, and now the Riders are, as their 3-1 record suggests. For the Eastern Riders, the struggle continues, but there are some Saskatchewan players who would tell them the wait is worthwhile, and one is this fellow, kicker Dave Ridgway. For the first 6 years of his career, Saskatchewan missed the playoffs, but the Riders made it last year, and they're a good bet to make it again this year, in part because they have the CFL's most reliable kicker.
I think, you know, after 8 years in the league and playing in Saskatchewan, when we went through some dry years offensively, we went through some dry years defensively too, but things have changed around, and during those dry years, I was on the field an awful lot, attempting field goals, so I think that is a big part of my success. Is I tend to be in the game more playing for the Saskatchewan Roughriders than I would be with another team. But I think just repetition and hard work, we spend a lot of time at it.
Dean Dorsey, the Ottawa place kicker, had a great line when talking about Ridgway. He calls him robo-kicker, and I think he's speaking of his consistency, and that's what both coaches will be looking for tonight from their quarterbacks, his consistency.
Well, if a quarterback consistent, you have a chance to win. And when Steve Goldman took over in Ottawa, he realized just how important it is to have a quarterback. So he gets Damon Allen, and as a result, has put together a pretty exciting offense. Now, they've self-destructed in their 4 games so far, but they do move the football. And Damon Allen right now is 0-4, looking for his first win. Tom Burgess, on the other hand, is 3 wins and a loss. He is the leader of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. People around here complain because he's completed fewer than 50% of his passes, but we know this. The only one that matters is the win column.
Okay, Ryan, look forward to the battle of 2 good young quarterbacks. Scott, back to you.
Steve, after an 0-4 start, the BC Lions fired their head coach yesterday. At halftime and inside the CFL, we'll get reaction from Larry Donovan, and we'll go to BC to talk to the man who approved the decision, the Lions Executive Vice President, Stu Kehoe. You're watching Foster's CFL on CBC.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by Foster's Lager, bringing the best of the CFL home to you. And by Priority Post Courier, official courier of the Canadian Football League. And by 7-Up. Are you up for it?
G'day. My mate's invited me around for a fine Canadian tradition. Barbie. What's cooking, mate?
Steak.
Nice. Just like in Oz, when you're hungry enough to eat a wallaby, and you'd like something while you're waiting, Foster's Golden Throat Charmer.
You know, if you're that hungry, I can throw a dog on for you.
No thanks, mate. If I was you, I'd make myself scarce. Foster's Golden Throat Charmer.
Every working day, Canadians send more than 30 million pieces of mail. Naturally, they expect all that mail to arrive on time everywhere in the country, and it's measured against exacting standards to ensure that it does. Delivering that service means handling problems, analyzing events, and making the right decisions now. It means dealing with massive amounts of information, coordinated through our new sophisticated National Mail Control Center, the only one of its kind in the world. So if there's a problem with bad weather, transportation delays, or power failures, or unusually high volumes, our people stay on top of things and work together to find solutions that keep the mail moving and get the job done right. Canada Post, with help from the airlines, trucking, and telecommunications companies, has been working to improve on the service you can expect and to find new ways of doing it even better. We're not perfect yet, but believe us, we're getting there.
Welcome back to Taylor Field in Regina. And week number 5 in the CFL about to get underway. Saskatchewan Roughriders at home to the Ottawa Roughriders. In a word, the weather might be described as perfect tonight as Ridgway gets this game underway. Stacey Dawsey, the new Roughrider. At the 30, looking for running room on the outside, turns the corner. Dawsey brought down at the 47-yard line, so the Ottawa Roughriders will have excellent field position when they take over. And this man will be directing the controls once again for the Roughrider offense, Damon Allen. He's gone the distance in all games for Ottawa this season. He's done it all for the Riders. And some say perhaps that Damon Allen might be trying to do too much. 1st and 10 for the Roughriders. Around their own 47-yard line. First offensive play of the game. And they give to Orville Lee. Lee gets up over the 51-yard line.
Well, it'd be nice if they could get Orville Lee running with the football, because right now Damon Allen is also doing all the running too. He's going to need some help tonight. We figure Byron Williams has got to come up big. He's got to keep catching passes. And if your outside is going, you've got to get Gerald Elfin in the slot. Don't allow him to double team wide or inside. Keep him off balance. And we saw Stacey Dawsey. He's in there as a wide receiver, but mainly a good kick returner. Ran 185 yards here when he was with Calgary.
2nd and 5 for the Ottawa Roughriders. Early motion from Saskatchewan, and Damon Allen just dumps it off to the left, looking for Skinner. It falls incomplete. The referee for tonight's game, Ken Lazaruk, and he's marking this one off against Saskatchewan.
Offside, Saskatchewan number 78, 2nd down.
The offside call against James Curry.
Defensively, Saskatchewan tonight, Bobby Jurison and James Curry should have big nights inside against the offensive line of the Ottawa Roughriders. Has had their problems blocking, so they should be big parts of it. And Albert Brown is going to have to try to shut down Byron Williams. He's also a good kick returner.
2nd down over, now 1 yard to go for the 1st down. And Allen keeps himself, goes off the right side and picks up the first down of the ball game. 13:35 to play. No score and a beautiful night here at Taylor Field in Regina. If you've just joined us, I'm Steve Armitage along with Ron Lancaster, and we've got Scott Oak patrolling the sideline.
1st and 10 Ottawa at the Saskatchewan 52.
Steve Goldman says we've got to stop beating ourselves, but I'm not sure if we're capable of that yet. What he means is he's been making changes. When you make changes, you don't get consistency, you don't get that togetherness, and you have a tendency to beat yourself by making mistakes at the wrong time.
Orville Lee through the same hole that he picked up 5 yards the last time.
Well, you know, Orville Lee coming in is only averaging about 3.5 yards every time he touches the football, and that's a far cry from last year. But the big difference is, as Coach Goldman explained to us, it's a new system. It's a system where he's required to do more things. It's not a helter-skelter style of offense like he had last year, and as a result, it's going to take him a while to understand it and fit in.
Gain of 4 on the last play. 2nd and 5 or 4.5. Allen puts it up, looking for Lee that time. It's incomplete. Eddie Lowe was covering on the play.
A little too much pressure. You get inside pressure from Gary Lewis and Bobby Jurison, and when you're forced to throw the ball in the flat, if you have to throw it high, it'll go over the top of them. We talk about James Curry, that he's going to have some problems inside. If you double team him, it'll help. Finally, they come off on him, and they don't have to do it because Irv Damon does a pretty good job.
Albert Brown deep to receive for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Tom Schimmer, who comes into the game averaging just under 40 yards per punt. He handled that snap well with one hand high over his head. Brown takes it at the 15. Flags go down as he's tripped up at the 25. We'll be back with more action from Taylor Field and Regina in just a moment.
Hi, Scott. My name is Sandy. I'm Judy's friend from LA. I'm downstairs and I thought I'd give you a call.
Great. Why don't you come on up?
Great. Bye.
Bye. Sorry, guys.
Are you up?
Come on.
Are you up for it? Are you up? Hi, Scott. Sandy.
Sandy.
Introducing 3 of a kind, the instant lottery that 3 aces can win, 3 kings can win, 3 queens can win, 3 jacks can win, 3 tens or other high numbers can win. With 3 of a kind, all kinds can win. And of course, even clubs can play.
A bit of a break for the Western Riders. No yards on that last punt from the Ottawa Roughriders, so Saskatchewan have pretty good field position and good position for Tom Burgess to go to work at quarterback. He replaced Kent Austin in the first game and has gone the distance for the Green Riders since. Had his most productive passing game against the BC Lions when he fired 5 touchdown passes.
Well, you know,
First and 10.
all quarterbacks need a little bit of help. Tom Burgess needs all the help he can get because they've got to force him out of the pocket. That means he'll be doing some scrambling. People have to get open.
Burgess with time, and it's complete. Narcisse, his favorite target, tripped up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Narcisse come in with 15 catches, 4 for touchdown, and we talk about him being one of the keys of this Saskatchewan offense. Watch him. He goes down, drives him deep, turns to the inside, find a hole. Burgess steps up, starts to scramble, come back to the football, run very well, doesn't he? Slips and falls, but that's what a receiver has to do. Come back and help the quarterback.
First and 10. On the quick pass, this time to the other side. McDonald brought down at the 40-yard line of the Ottawa Roughriders.
Well, we talked about Narcisse being one of the offensive keys for Saskatchewan. We feel Tim McRae's got to get some work. He's a good football player, excellent runner. They're going to get Burgess thrown, hit him inside. And we know the 2 slot backs. We think Jeff Fairholm has a little more speed. They've got to go to work on Larry Hogue of the Ottawa Roughriders.
A 26-yard gain, first and 10, ball at the 40 of the Ottawa Roughriders. 2 quick passes, and now they go along the ground. McRae off the right side, tripped up after picking up 3 or 4 yards.
Well, defensively, the Ottawa Roughriders have got to get to Tom Burgess. Feel that that's going to be the thing that's going to make the difference for him. Don Baldwin and Lloyd Lewis up front. Baldwin was acquired from Toronto, playing at one defensive end, and Lloyd Lewis inside, good pass rushers. Larry Hogue's filling in for Troy Wilson at that halfback position. We feel Fairholm and Elgard will test him.
A gain of 3 on the last play, 2nd and 7. The ball's at the 37. Still no score, 10:32 to play, opening quarter. Burgess again with time. This time runs up the middle. Lots of room. Burgess down at the 11-yard line.
There are certain defenses that you play that the middle will open up wide for a quarterback that can run. And this happens to be that defense. Tom Burgess, we talk about not being a great runner, but we want you to take a look at how it opens up. This is a weak defense against the quarterback draw. Now, it's a pass play, but you see the linebackers chasing receivers. When he goes across the field, line of scrimmage, there's nobody in the picture. He'll run all the way for a touchdown if they don't turn around and look out. But, I mean, that defense is weak against a quarterback that'll run.
26-yard gain, setting up 1st and 10. And that time, Burgess just wanted to float one out to McRae. McRae wasn't far enough downfield.
Try to get McRae outside with number 42, Billy Jackson, the middle linebacker, having to cover him. If you get the ball to McRae, Jackson's one-on-one in open field. Don't feel he can make the tackle.
John Gregory told us yesterday that he'd like to get some playing time for his backup quarterback, Kent Austin, sometime in this game. 2nd and 10. Again from the 11. Burgess floats one over the middle. Touchdown, Fairholm.
See, we talked in the thing, the keys for the two clubs, that Jeff Fairholm would test Larry Hogue. Larry Hogue's normally outside. Fairholm got an inside release on him, and with his speed and quickness, Burgess kind of looped it away from the defender the way you should as a quarterback. Throw it away from the defense. Fairholm made it look pretty easy.
Robo kicker Dave Ridgway boots it through for the extra point, and Saskatchewan take a 7-0 lead with 9:28 remaining to play opening quarter. You're watching Foster's CFL on CBC.
Introduce yourself to the refreshingly honest taste of Foster's Light. It's what's inside that counts. It's what's inside that counts.
The time of the drive, 2 minutes and 36 seconds, and it gives the Saskatchewan Roughriders an early 7-0 lead. 9:28 remaining to play in the opening quarter. Third touchdown of the season for Jeff Fairholm. Stacy Gossi and Cornelius Reddick were in position, but they elected to go to the short kick. Everybody caught by surprise on that one.
Well, you know, when it's executed that way, it's a pretty play to watch. The rule says the ball has to travel 10 yards. Once it goes 10 yards, it belongs to anybody that gets it. So it was a free ball, and what a play. Ridgway kicked it about as well as you can, just blooped it to the sideline. Narcisse caught it on the dead run. Looked like it was better than a pass.
All teams in the CFL practice that particular play, but you don't expect to see it at this point of the game.
Not so soon. Look at Fairholm going down the field. He sees the ball. What he's got to do is be alert for the fumble or to go block. You're standing around a pile, he knows who's got it. Big break for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Ottawa Roughriders didn't need this right now.
Good hit there by Kyle Hall once Narcisse pulled it in. 1st and 10, Saskatchewan, ball at the 50. A little fake by Burgess in time, and then he's sacked.
Number 76, Lloyd.
Well, we'll take a look at the touchdown. We figured Fairholm and Elgaard's got to be big parts. This time Fairholm inside. There he is. No problem with the catch. Larry Hogue's there, but the way Fairholm used his body to screen the defender from the football, can't stop it.
Lloyd Lewis in on that last sack, his 3rd of the season. 2nd and 16. Burgess to a wide open McDonald down inside the 45-yard line. Larry Hogue there to pull him down.
Well thrown football. They clear it out with the inside receivers. Jeff Fairholm wasn't running as fast as he could. He's coming out of the ball game now limping, but coming right to the inside. Watch it, right inside the linebacker. There it is. McDonald again makes the catch. Big play. Saskatchewan seems to be moving at will right now. The defense has got to come up big.
Fairholm out of the game now. Ellingson into his place. Quick pitch to McCray. McCray's got some room. He could go.
know, we talk about Tim McRae, that he's going to run the football. Boy, it didn't take him too long. A pass downfield to McDonald and 44 yards by Tim McRae made it look pretty easy. Never let a running back outside with the football in his hands. When he gets outside, he's dangerous. There was nobody there. He just cruised down the sidelines untouched.
Ridgeway will attempt the point after. Automatic. Pretty well. Line drive. He's getting lower and lower on those point afters. But that makes it 14-0.
It's just a toss. You see Aldag and Hillebrand, the two guards out in front. Look at it. Hillebrand leads him outside. He gets outside the corner. Never let him out there. This is just a nice, easily jaunt in the park for McRae. Too easy. The Ottawa defense got to come out big, and that kick really hurt him. 2 plays later, touchdown. You see Hillebrand makes his block. Around the corner goes Aldag. 2 plays, touchdown, 44 yards. McRae. If they keep this rate up, it's going to be a long night. And the Ottawa Roughriders, you say self-destruct. What they do is get down and can't get back. This is what they did against Winnipeg 2 weeks ago. They can't afford to do that.
And that was Tim McRae's first touchdown of the season. That time it took him 1:29 seconds, 2:29 and 1:29. Saskatchewan have had the ball twice on offense, and twice they put the ball in the end zone. I think that's the consistency we were talking about. This time they elect to go with the long kickoff taken by Reddick, another newcomer. Drinkwater in to make the stop, a 55-yard kick and a 27-yard return.
You know, when you're having problems on the defensive side of the football, what you hope that Damon Allen will do right now is put the ball in the end zone naturally, but let's use some time. Let's get a ball control offensive series going. Try to keep that red-hot Saskatchewan offense on the bench.
Did Barry let him in? When we talked to Steve Goldman, we wondered why he hadn't run the ball more, and he said we've never been in a position to really establish a running game. And he's in one of those positions again tonight against Saskatchewan. Allen keeps it. Robinson in on the stop.
And we talk about Damon Allen averaging 7.5 yards carrying the football. Here's why. He's getting too much pressure. Bobby Jurison, we know, can come from the outside. An outstanding pass rusher. Look at him. Just bang. Away he goes. No problem at all. So Damon Allen has to step up. And when he steps up, he has to run with the ball. You don't want him having to run that much.
2nd and 3. They get the lead. Lee has the first down and change.
Good job. Gets 7 on first down. Orville Lee gets the 1st and 10. And keeps that clock running. Keeps your offense on the field. And offense gains momentum and confidence by being on the field. Your defense, you don't ever want them out there very long. That means you're in trouble.
6:41 to play. Opening quarter. Saskatchewan leading 14-0. But Ottawa have the ball. 1st and 10 at the 51-yard line of Saskatchewan. Allen intending that for Skinner, but Skinner couldn't turn around to pull the ball in.
Too much pressure again. Damon Allen had to throw the football backing up. John Gregory says, I think you want to be careful how much pressure you put on Damon. He's good at throwing the hots, which means that if he reads the linebacker blitzes, the receivers see it, get to an open area, and he will dump it real quick. They are hot receivers whenever there's a blitz, and he can find it.
Again, good pressure from that Saskatchewan front four. Forces Allen out of the pocket, and it's forced the front four's line out of bounds. But well short of the first down.
They came with the pressure that time. I think he gave up on it a little bit too soon, but he must have known something. If someone's free, he's got to run away from it. Only he just could not run Vince Goldsmith. Goldsmith, for a defensive end, he really forced into the sidelines, and as a result, they get the ball back.
Tom Schimmer getting set to punt. He'll get the punt away from his own 47-yard line. Albert Brown, the lone punt returner. Good hold. Brown tripped up at the 33-yard line by Chris Skinner. As we enter week number 5 in the CFL, this is what the standings look like in the East. It's all Hamilton alone at top, and then Toronto and Winnipeg both with 4 points. Ottawa Roughriders still looking for their first win of the season. with that 0-4 record. Same with BC in the West. They're 0-4. Edmonton, Saskatchewan tied for first. Of course, they can break that tie tonight, can Saskatchewan, with a win here over their eastern cousins. 1st and 10, Saskatchewan. Ball at the 33. Burgess floats it out to McRae. Good move by McRae. Brought down at the 48-yard line.
Remember a while ago when Tom Burgess tried to float it out to McRae in a flat and he overthrew him. He had Billy Jackson one-on-one in man coverage. This time it's a zone, which means the linebackers just drop back. Burgess hits him, and he put a move on Billy Jackson and just inside him with no problem at all. But he looks downfield, look down, look down, look down, drop it. Took the hit from the backside. As long as they catch the football, you don't care. That was Don Baldwin coming from the back, number 75, but he didn't get there quick enough.
This is Saskatchewan's 3rd time with the ball on offense. He scored on the first 2. Dumped over the middle of McRae. Another very productive play for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. McRae brought down at the 45-yard line.
Tom Burgess saw the middle linebacker Billy Jackson go on a blitz. Now watch, right over the middle, right where he left. He dumps the ball to McRae. There's nobody near him. And again, another big play. Burgess is reading fast, getting rid of the football. It's tough to sack a guy when he's doing that.
The ball's at the 46-yard line of the Ottawa Roughriders. 1st and 10, Saskatchewan. Burgess. Complete to Elgard on the right sideline. Elgard not enjoying one of his best seasons ever as a Saskatchewan Roughrider, but he did make a key catch in their last victory.
Well, the biggest thing is that they're just moving the ball around and using the wide receivers a lot more. Do a little work on John Hoffman, who's the backup defensive back tonight for Saskatchewan. You know, you see that's Dr. Alexander, the team position in the green hat, trainer Ivan Gutford. You see him checking the knees like that. That's not real good. Let's hope that it's more of a cramp, but we can't tell from here. We'll get a report on it later.
1st and 10 Riders from the Ottawa Roughriders, 35-yard line. Burgess going long, airs it out, complete, Fairhold.
Steve, if you think you can cover the width of this Canadian Football League field in a 2-deep zone, you got another thing coming. Now, they have opened that middle up twice, and one time Burgess ran for 26. This time, Jeff Fairholm goes down and splits right in the middle. Nice throw, nice catch, and if they don't get out of it, it's going to get bad.
Ridgway with the point after, and that makes it 21-0. We'll be back with more action right after this.
No carbonation, not too sweet. Helps provide energy to working muscles. Nothing cuts through thirst like Gatorade.
Some of my best friends are writers.
Conversations with Canada's literary greats.
Everybody thinks if you're a Canadian writer, you are a sort of professor of Canadian literature as well.
And the Harbourfront Writers Festival.
My father was usually on the land.
Tomorrow on Adrian Clarkson's Summer Festival. The 4th and final major on this year's PGA Tour. Jeff Sluman defends his title at the PGA Championship. 3rd round coverage starts Saturday.
Tom Burgess has been a model of consistency so far in this game. 8 of 9 passes, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and this was his last one.
Tom Burgess reads that defense right now. He looks to his right to give Fairholm time to get into the middle, lays it in there perfectly for the touchdown. 3 people going down the field, 2 wide on the outside, and right down the middle is Fairholm. For a guy that they've been riding out here saying you can't win with a quarterback that completes less than 50% of his passes, he came in with 42%, but 8 for 9 is going to raise it in a hurry. And I'll tell you what, if you can put touchdowns on the board as fast as he has, you'll take 42% any day.
229 for the opening TD, 129 for the second, and you saw it 154 for the third. 3 possessions, 3 TDs. Stacey Dawson. Dawson tripped up at the 35-yard line. Tunel Alapapi there to make the stop.
21-0. Damon Allen's got to get something going now. When you have a young team and they're unsettled and they make changes, if you don't get it going pretty soon, they all of a sudden will give up, and then you don't want that. And so far, as Goldman told us today, they haven't given up. They've played hard. Right now, Damon's got to make something happen offensively to give them a little bit of hope.
Quick pass complete. Myron K. Williams brought down at the 45-yard line.
Williams, we said he's one of the keys tonight. They've got to get him the football. He came in with 19 receptions, only 1 for a touchdown. This is just a simple pattern where he goes down about 6 or 7 yards, breaks to the sideline. Now, here you go. Drive him off, break out, throw him the football. The one thing you know, you got one-on-one out here. It's him against Brown. Looks like he's going to get by. Just hangs on, drags him down, gets close to 10.
Myron Williams picked up by the Ottawa Roughriders from the BC Lions. Not unlike David Williams from the Lions in his running style and his leaping style. He gets very high in the air.
David didn't have a very good night the other night down Hamilton, did he? Wasn't that a great football game?
Outstanding football game. Tough loss for the Lions, and of course it cost Larry Donovan his job. We'll have more on that coming up at halftime on Inside the CFL. The firing of Larry Donovan. Joe Galat being named the new coach. We'll be talking to Galat, Donovan, and Stu Kehoe. First and 10 Ottawa. Ball is at the 46. Allen slips there, and it cost him. Once that foot went out, he just couldn't get his balance and get the pass away. Let's go to Scotto.
Steve, 3 games and 11 nights have taken their toll on many of these Western Riders. One is running back Milson Jones, who aggravated an Achilles tendon injury in the first of those 3 games, but he's not favoring it as much tonight as he was in Winnipeg, when he had to take 6 Tylenol-3 to overcome the pain and play. He's only taken 3 Tylenol-3 tonight.
Tell him to rest and stay on the sideline, Scott. Get out of the sun, relax, take it easy. They got people back there, Robert Reed, Kevin Dixon and Rob Rusciani. He'd love to get in the game.
This is Skinner. And a good gain by Skinner, brought down by Richie Hall.
Good run by Skinner. They've been waiting for him to get opened up coming in tonight. You know, they got him from the Edmonton Eskimos. We enjoyed a good career. Let's take a look at Chris Skinner, 205 pounds out of Bishops on the drive. Bounces it right outside Gary Lewis, puts a good move. And now he just turn upfield. The coaches say run north and south. That means toward the goal line. And that's what he does. Picks up 21 yards.
And a good tackle there by Richie Hall. Eddie Ray Walker, the injured Ottawa Saskatchewan Rough Rider, down on the turf.
Eddie Ray Walker, 2 interceptions and a sack. Him and Richie Hall, pretty good blitzing halfback, especially when they're the short side of the field. Working on his ankle a little bit. Working on the ankle. All right, here we see him coming right in underneath, gets that leg trapped underneath him. And that's the ankle, the right ankle, number 2. That's what they're looking at. You know, they were working a while ago on John Hoffman, backup defensive back, so we're going to find out whether Hoffman's ready to play, and if he's not, we'll see who goes in there.
Of course, this is where the anti-artificial turf people will point out that had that been natural turf, the leg might have slid away.
Well, you know, worth the argument you can do. Well, I'll tell you right now, Hoffman's not going in the ballgame. He's got an ice bag and a wrap on the knee, so he's out. I would imagine, I guess, Donovan Wright, Junior Robinson are both listed as outside linebackers, but we know they can both play defensive back, too, so we'll see how they line up.
Be a part of our team.
Well, John Hoffman with a slight injury.
Rookie from University of Saskatchewan, backs up that secondary.
Saskatchewan Roughriders coaching staff telling us how much they're looking forward to this break. They get 10 days off, and John Gregory saying that they're going to use that time to heal some wounds.
Yeah, they played 3 and 11, and the last 3 days they haven't been able to put the pads on to even practice. They just kind of walked around a little bit. Get the practices started, which means you don't change your game plan much. You just ask for execution. This is when you tell them, suck it up and let's go play.
Eddie Ray Walker getting some assistance coming off the field here at Taylor Field. If you just joined us, I'm Steve Armitage along with Ron Lancaster. We've got Scott Oak on the sidelines. 2:04 to play, opening quarter. It's all Saskatchewan so far offensively. They lead 21-0, but Ottawa had the ball. 1st and 10 from the Saskatchewan Roughriders 51. Quick pass. And a good catch there by Reddick. And Reddick gets down inside the 30. Junior Robinson brings him down.
Again, that just quick out pattern. Turned to the sidelines. He took the hit, stayed in bounds, showing good balance. Took it downfield. As you mentioned, Junior Robinson made the tackle. What they do is move Junior Robinson from the linebacker to the secondary and bring in Alipati at his linebacker position. So they're okay.
Cornelius Reddick, NFL experience with Philadelphia and Cleveland, picked up from Edmonton. Ball's at the 30. Quick pass over the middle. That's one of the hots we were talking about. That's that quick pass complete over the middle to Gerald Alphen, his first reception of the game.
Yeah, what you look for, that linebacker outside. He blitzes real fast. Alphen looks in real quick. All right, he looks right at the linebacker. The linebacker comes, bang, throw the ball to the receiver, and then hope that he can break the tackle. Alphen almost broke it. If he breaks it, big gainer. If you don't, you get 5. But you got to take it to get to a one-on-one. That's all you can ask for in football.
This is the kind of drive that Steve Goldman wanted from his offense. 2nd and 1. Ball at the 21. And a fumble. They indicate Saskatchewan have recovered. Alipati coming up with the fumble for the Saskatchewan Roughriders to nullify the best drive the Ottawa Roughriders have been able to put together.
Yeah, that's a very disappointing thing for Ottawa. They had things going, a little bit of hard work, outs, runs. Skinner makes a good run, short yardage. He never got the handoff, never was in his hands, and as a result, the ball goes down. Denny Ferdinand coming to the right side, never had control of the handoff. 9 times out of 10, you blame quarterbacks when there's a fumble between the back and the quarterback. Quarterback usually has to take the blame.
That was always one of the big knocks against Denny Ferdinand in his much-traveled CFL career. He was prone to fumble. 1st and 10, Saskatchewan. Burgess, under a little bit of pressure there, had to hurry the throw intended for McCray. It's incomplete.
Some days you get a little bit lucky as he faked the draw and he was dropping back. When he released the football, Billy Jackson was coming right underneath it, but the ball was thrown low. I think if the ball was up, he gets it.
2nd and 10 for Saskatchewan. The ball's at the 19. Should be the final play of the opening quarter. Burgess under pressure. Errors one out. Looking for Fairholm. Incomplete. Larry Hogue was covering on the play, and that time he had good position.
Had excellent coverage on him. Man-to-man coverage. Went after Tom Burgess, forcing him to throw the football. Hogue got inside position on him. When Fairholm went to the post, he's covered. All right, there he is, number 4, Larry Hogue. See him dropping to the inside. Now, when Fairholm comes in there, he has got him. Fairholm cannot get by him to get to the football. As a result, it's overthrown, and Ottawa gets it back. So the fumble doesn't hurt him. It's going to cost him from field position.
A rarity for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. First punt for Terry Baker. Taken by Dawsey, and Dawsey loses yards on the return. You're watching Foster's CFL on CBC.
When you get hold of a cold OV, you know you're doing it right.
These are the mean machines. Watch closely now and you will see they can hurt you. They can cut you. These are the mean machines.
This is Carl and Terry. Like many youngsters in the Champ program, they lost their limbs in accidents. That's why Champs say,
whatever game you play, play safe.
Play safe.
Crazy Ham could score. With one block, he does it easily, yes. Pass deflected.
Gray.
And intercepted.
Lee. Smith.
He has has it, and he'll score.
Willis.
Touchdown, Larry Willis.
Konar. Touchdowns, tackles, out. The stars of the CFL are back.
You're watching the CFL on CBC. I'm Steve Armitage along with Ron Lancaster. Scott Oak is on the sidelines. It's been all Saskatchewan so far. They lead 21-0. But Ottawa have the ball. Damon Allen, good pass. Byron Williams. Williams got up and started to run again.
That's a good catch by Williams, but look at the first quarter stats. 217 yards and net yards for Saskatchewan. And that one turnover right there, the fumble, didn't hurt them, but their defense is going to have to tighten up. 150 yards rushing, and the time of possession about double. You want to control the football. When you control the football, you have a chance to win the game.
Ball's at the 43, 1st and 10, Ottawa. Another complete pass. This time to Denny Ferdinand, and this time Ferdinand hangs on as he's brought down at the 35.
The quarterback used his eyes. He gets a little bit of time that time. He looked downfield, threw in a flat. This is what you got to have up front. See number 54, Damon, and you see who come in there on a halfback blitz. Junior Robinson comes in that halfback position. It gets a little bit crowded in there.
Ottawa need 3 yards for the first down. Ball's at the 35. Allen throwing on the dead run, intended for Byron Williams. That time it was just beyond his reach.
Got a little bit of pressure. Number 79, Gary Lewis, coming. When the quarterback's going to his left, he can't get the shoulders turned when you get the pressure coming from the backside like that, and you'll have a tendency to overthrow on a pass to the outside, and he threw it out of bounds.
Ronnie, is there a tendency in a situation like this for Saskatchewan to let down? A 21-0 lead, second quarter just underway. You're playing a team that's 0-4.
No, when you get things going, you like to keep them going. The problem, I think, is that Ottawa will let down. You know, they'll feel, well, we're going to lose another one. I think when you get things going offensively, boy, that's when it's fun.
Dean Dossey's field goal attempt is wide, taken by Albert Brown. Brown will go out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So when we come back, Saskatchewan once again will have the ball to try and increase their lead.
The heat is on. It's on the streets. Inside your head. It's the Pontiac beat. Pontiac beat. Feel it, Pontiac. Feel it, Pontiac. Pontiac. It's on the street. It's on the street. The heat is on. It's the Pontiac beat.
Friday on Street Legal.
They just came in. 20 feet away.
Carey helps a convict whose desperate need for justice puts his own life in danger until he takes the law into his own hands.
Warden, you want dead inmates, you're gonna get them.
Winston Record stars in Street Legal Friday.
He's the best in the business. Fantastic. But just what business is this guy in?
He is a writer of comic books.
Condor Man Sunday.
Saskatchewan's Ray Elgard is on the verge of achieving a milestone for the Riders. There you can see the fact that he is now 4 passes from moving into first place on the all-time list, and held by Chris DeFrance. And he is 4 up on the great Hugh Campbell, who Ronnie Lancaster threw a few passes to in his time.
He didn't miss very many of them.
No, he didn't, did he? Louis Huey, they call him. Great pass receiver, and so is that man, number 81, Ray Elgard, who will surely go into the history books, if not tonight, certainly in the very near future for Saskatchewan.
He was laughing the other day. He said if he only needed 5 catches at the rate it's going, it won't be till Labor Day. He's averaging about 1 or 2 a game. That's about all he's getting. But they got 4 good receivers, and they're moving it around.
McCray hit the moment he took that pass from Burgess. Good coverage by Billy Jackson. Read that one well.
Man-to-man coverage. Billy Jackson sat at that middle linebacker position, and when McCray leaked out or drifted out to catch the screen, Jackson was there like a flash.
Legal procedure. Saskatchewan number 81 declined. 2nd down.
Now let's go to Scott.
Steve, Saskatchewan didn't need any more nagging injuries, but they're getting a lot of them in their secondary. Halfback Eddie Ray Walker did twist his ankle. He said he caught it in the turf and felt it go pop. As a result, it's already swollen, and as you can see, he's icing it, and obviously he's very questionable for the rest of this game. And so is backup John Hoffman, who's got ice on his knee right now.
So there's no question that the Saskatchewan Roughriders got to make good use of that 10-day break that they have coming up following the game against the Ottawa Roughriders here at Taylor Field tonight, as Eddie Ray Walker gets on the golf cart to make his way to the medical room here at Taylor Field.
Ottawa's going to get good field position now if they can just capitalize on it. You know, if they can take a drive and put it in the end zone, it'll do so much for the momentum and confidence that they can come back. A lot of times, you're talking about letting down. You have a tendency to score points easily. Then you think they should all come easy, and it doesn't go well for it. That's a big break.
The punt is blocked, and the Ottawa Roughriders come up with a touchdown. John Ulmer. A big break for the Ottawa Roughriders, getting in on top of that punt and then covering for the touchdown. Darryl Hopper in the right place at the right time.
You know, talk about big plays. That's what we meant. Here it is, a break. Ulmer comes straight up the middle, gets high, blocks that ball down, and then Darryl Hopper, 91's there to get it. Now, plays like that will get you back in a ball game. When you go to the sideline now, you're happy, you're excited, you're enthused, and they can come back.
Well, Dean Dorsey will attempt the point after. Just like his counterpart Ridgway, it should be automatic. It is, and that makes it 21-7. So a big break for the Ottawa Roughriders.
Take one more look at it again. That man, Darryl Hopper, scores the touchdown. The ball is snapped. Here he comes. Ulmer straight up the middle, unblocked. Boy, I'll tell you, you don't get through that easy all the time. You know, normally you tell your offensive lineman, and when you block and you start downfield, if you hear thud, keep going. If you hear thud, thud, you better get back and start looking for the ball. That time, no one touched Ulmer. He got the ball. Hopper got the touchdown.
Well, that time was definite thud, thud.
Kickoff team. Kickoff cover. Kickoff cover.
And you heard Darryl Hopper say, we're going to get some more. Well, they need as many as they can come up with against these red-hot Saskatchewan Roughriders, who has certainly cooled in the last few minutes. And I imagine that John Gregory a little bit concerned about that. He does have a 14-point lead, but they came out 3 possessions with the ball on offense, 3 TDs, and then they've slowed down considerably since then, and the momentum has gone over to the Ottawa Roughriders.
Well, that's what the game is a constant battle of field possession and momentum. And right now, Ottawa with that block kick, they can come down, cover this kick, keep Saskatchewan pinned down, get another chance with the football.
A low kick picked up by McCray. And McCray is brought down at the 35-yard line. Charles Merritt there to make the tackle for the Ottawa Roughriders.
Good coverage. Ball wasn't kicked very deep. Only got it around the 25-yard line. Only got a run back of 11 yards, so you're getting down the field in a hurry.
Well, we talked about consistency in the quarterbacks. Look at what Burgess has done for Saskatchewan. 145 yards compared to only 65 yards for Damon Allen. And Burgess still controlling the offense for Saskatchewan. 1st and 10, ball at the 35.
Counter, baby, counter.
McCray. Good haul. Good piece of running on the last 4 or 5 yards for McCray. Tyrone Pope there to bring him down.
Good job of blocking up front. They opened the hole for Tim McCray. They really just ran right over top of that Ottawa defensive line and get McCray into the secondary, and he's got that slashing kind of speed. He doesn't seem to have to slow down to make a move, and that gets you more yards.
1st and 10, Saskatchewan, now from the 45. 11:54 remaining second quarter. Saskatchewan lead 21-7. Burgess throws the out. Narcisse. I think that Ray McDonald. No, it was Narcisse.
It was. Narcisse just on that down and out pattern again. Hit him with a football. One grab him and then try to take the ball away from him. Little sprint, get the read on the halfback quick, lay it out there. Right in his hands, turns back to the inside where you want him to go. When one has him, somebody else try to grab that football.
Pitch to McRae. And McRae does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Runs into Billy Jackson. Good hit there by Jackson.
Coming from that middle linebacker position, when they force that toss to turn inside, he's there to hit him.
Two of the top 5 rushers from 1988. Lee of the Ottawa Roughriders, McRae of Saskatchewan. Lee had that outstanding year last year as a rookie.
15-yard penalty. This hurts a little bit. So McRae may not have gained many yards, but a 15-yard penalty against Ottawa. The referee helped him out. That'll get you 15 easy ones.
That moves the ball down to the 42-yard line of the Ottawa Roughriders, where Saskatchewan are now 1st and 10. There's the story of the penalties. McRae.
Run right at him up front, and again, middle linebacker Billy Jackson seems to be the man filling the holes. A middle linebacker in a 4-3 defense, that's his job. Get to the hole and make the tackle. Jackson's doing it pretty well tonight.
Need 5 for the first down. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line. 10:38 to play, second quarter. 21-7, Saskatchewan lead. Takes the pitch, fires over the middle, complete to Elgard. Elgard down to the 17-yard line, where he's brought down by Tyrone Pope, and if Pope hadn't been there, Elgard was gone.
You know, when Burgess turned away from center and he fakes the toss right here, Merritt, the linebacker, comes across looking for it, and where does Elgard go? Right in behind it, and again, Pope has to run him down. Came into the open area, and Burgess found him.
That one worked just the way you diagrammed it.
That's right. You go on the board and say, we'll fake this. Here's what that linebacker will do. You circle in, we'll hit you.
Also the 18. They give to Nelson Jones his first carry of the ball game, and he gets down to about the 12. Alex Carter there to make the stop for Ottawa.
While you run the draw plays like that, you have to have the help of the offensive line as you do on all the other plays. But Mike Anderson, with 6 years of experience, he's the youngest up there. That is an experienced veteran offensive line for Saskatchewan.
Second down. Ball's at the 13. Burgess again with that little quick pass, but Elgard turned too late.
That's a mystery. Quarterback and receiver not on the same page. Burgess seeing man-to-man coverage, expecting Elgard to just take 3 steps and look for the ball. Elgard went deep, and Burgess threw it too quick. That'll happen. The only thing that you hope doesn't really happen is a defensive back sees it and catches it and goes the other way.
You know, the funny thing is I actually heard some boos because Burgess misthrew that ball for Elgard. Has not missed from this distance.
Under 40 yards this year. Unbelievable.
Now, were the Ottawa Roughriders drawn offside, or were they coming?
Okay.
Ottawa coming early. So this will move the ball 5 yards up.
Okay.
It was 3rd and 5.
Where's the tape?
They're going to call for a measurement.
All right, let's take a look at it. Nothing seems to be moving. When they snap down, the whole defensive line moves. You know, I don't really understand that. You know, it didn't look like anything here. We couldn't see everything, but you don't go to the ball snap. You look at the ball. When the Saskatchewan offensive line snap down, you can see the guard and tackle. They jump. And you give them a first down and a chance at 7 points.
First and goal from the 8. A touchdown, Elgard.
Ray Elgard down the field. They blitz the outside linebackers, which means you're playing man coverage in the secondary, and the inside guy, Tyrone Pope, number 6, he drove him off, turned, and there's no underneath help, and when you're 225 pounds and 6'3", you're not going to come through his back and cause him to miss it.
Ridgway puts it through, so the Saskatchewan Roughriders go in front of the Ottawa Roughriders 28-7, 8:52 to play, second quarter.
When Canada's business relies on fast overnight delivery, Canada's business relies on Priority Post Courier.
service between most Canadian centers, with next business day delivery, you too can rely on Priority Post Courier, your better business connection.
The Grey Cup champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers hit Toronto Skydome on August the 10th. Game time is 7:30. For ticket information, call Ticketmaster at 872-1111 or pick up your tickets at the Argonaut Skydome ticket office. Argos action in the spectacular Skydome.
Number 81, Ray Elgard, just standing up there on the receiving end of that pass from Tom Burgess to complete the touchdown drive, and here it is.
Well, we talk about man-to-man coverage. Watch the ball being thrown. There's no underneath coverage, no linebacker to get his hands in the way. You can't expect Tyrone Pope to stop a 225-pound man. Look at it. He just uses that body, shields the defender, catches it, and pulls it in.
Good concentration on the part of Burgess there.
Throw the football and listen to the crowd. They'll tell you what happened in a hurry.
Absolutely. Stacy Dawsey at the 20. A little bit of a hole there, tripped up at the 31-yard line. So the Ottawa Roughriders offense will go to work. Jeff Fairholm downfield to make the stop for Saskatchewan. Now let's see what Damon Allen can do.
Well, we're right back where we were a while ago. Damon Allen now needs to get the offense moving. Their touchdowns come by a block kick off special teams. He must move the ball downfield, put it in the end zone. If he does that, they're still in the ball game. They'll get a little more, get that momentum back.
The last time they had the ball offensively, got a pretty good drive going, only to have it ended by Denny Ferdinand fumble. This time, Damon Allen gets no time to throw the ball. Brought down by Gary Lewis, his second sack of the season.
Well, that front four of Saskatchewan, that is what makes it so tough for teams to throw and allows Saskatchewan to do so many different things defensively. They bring only 4 men, and look at the pressure they're getting. This time it's Gary Lewis. Sometimes it's Jurison, it's Goldsmith, it's Curry. But those 4 people create a lot of havoc.
I don't want to take anything away from Gary Lewis. That's his second sack of the game, 3rd of the season. A loss of 4. Orville Lee goes nowhere.
You run that counter play where you pull the lineman back into the sidelines. A guard and tackler coming. That backside linebacker, in this case, that man, Alipati, just follows him down the line, and when the ball carrier cuts in, he's right where he's supposed to be. He makes the tackle.
So that'll bring on Tom Schimmer, the Ottawa Roughriders punter, as we look at Albert Brown, and now Schimmer getting set to punt. He'll get the punt away from about the 15-yard line. End over end punt.
Schimmer's punt taken
by Brown, and Brown just steps out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So when we come back, Saskatchewan will have the ball and the lead 28-7.
Hi, Scott. My name is Sandy. I'm Judy's friend from LA. I'm downstairs and I thought I'd give you a call.
Great. Why don't you come on up?
Great. Bye.
Bye. Sorry, guys. Are you up? Come up.
Are you up for it? Are you up? Hi, Scott. Sandy.
7 up. Sandy.
7 up.
Buy a ticket. Feed the cats.
When I smile and I'm off the field, people aren't afraid. But when I smile and I'm on the field, I think it puts some fear in their heart.
Thursday, August 10th. An early favorite for outstanding player in the CFL, running back Derek McAdoo leads the unbeaten Hamilton Tiger Cats into Calgary with help from Earl Winfield. Back with the Ticats after an unsuccessful shot at the NFL. The CFL on CBC. The Hamilton Tiger Cats the league's only undefeated team, in Calgary to face the Stampeders, Thursday at 9:30 Eastern.
For Ottawa's Steve Goldman, this is deja vu. He's been there before. He's seen his club come out of the chute 0-4 for John Gregory on the right of the screen. The Saskatchewan boss on his way to a 4-1 record should his Riders continue to roll the way they have so far in the first half. They have the ball 1st and 10. Ball at the 41-yard line. Burgess has to eat the ball this time after picking up 2 or 3 yards. Alex Carter there to make the tackle.
It's a good job downfield. That's a coverage sack. Coverage sack means that the defensive backs downfield and the linebackers have done their job, so the quarterback can't throw it. He pulls it down to run, then the linemen sack him. He had enough time to throw it. Nobody open.
Just an absolutely gorgeous night here at Taylor Field in Regina. Temperature 27 degrees Celsius before the kickoff. No wind to speak of, which is a rarity here at Taylor Field. Burgess puts it up. Fairholm, if he still got us, a sensational catch.
That was a big, big catch.
Now let's go down the sidelines and Scotto.
Steve, the BC Lions headed into week 5 of the schedule at 0-4. They've been making news over their financial situation, pending sale to a private group, and on top of that, they fired their head coach yesterday. At halftime and inside the CFL, we'll examine the coaching change with reaction from the principals, Larry Donovan, who was fired, Joe Galat, who fired him, and Stu Kehoe, who approved the decision.
Scott, we look forward to that. An interesting intermission coming up. James Ellingson takes that pass from Burgess and is forced out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Ellingson's been in the league 4 years, but when you're playing behind a couple guys like Elgard and Fairholm, you can understand why you don't necessarily get a chance to play a lot. But when he gets in there, he comes up with a big catch just as he does there, picks up a 1st and 10.
They spot the ball at the Ottawa Roughrider 43, 1st and 10, Saskatchewan. 5:44 to play, second quarter. McRae. McRae down to the 37-yard line.
Take that block punt out of there, and that's just about perfect. I mean, you do have to punt the ball occasionally, but you don't like seeing that blocked in front of it. But 4 TDs in the first half, that's not bad at all.
4 out of 6 times you had the ball. I'd say that's pretty good. I don't see how the coaches could quarrel about that. Second down. Burgess puts it up. Complete to Narcisse. Narcisse just shy of the 15-yard line. Darrell Hopper there to make the stop. And again, it may have been a touchdown-saving tackle.
Pretty well-run pattern. They take the 2 inside receivers. McRae goes to the flat, and coming underneath is the slot back, and that opens the hole right in the middle for McDonough. Or Narcisse makes the tackle, and coming in to make the hit on him is Hopper, but well executed. Narcisse come into the opening just as it opened, and Burgess threw the ball.
Spot the ball at the 16. 1st and 10, Saskatchewan. That time, Burgess under pressure just airs it out into the end zone. There was nobody there. Fairholm was the closest, but he was about 10 yards away.
Well, you know, when you bring a safety man, and this time it's Tyrone Pope, number 6, coming from that halfback position on a blitz, coming from the right side of your screen. Burgess sees him. Now, you don't have enough men to pick him up, so he belongs to the quarterback, getting rid of the football, and he doesn't take a hit, and that's what he likes about it.
2nd and 10. Burgess again under pressure and fires high. Again, the closest man to the ball was Fairholm.
That time, Alex Carter, the defensive end that they acquired from Edmonton, who was their leader coming in tonight. He had 3 quarterback sacks, put some pretty good pressure on Tom Burgess and forced him to throw the ball high.
And this time, the offense gets a pretty good round of applause from the fans here at Taylor Field. Even though they didn't put it in the end zone, but Dave Ridgway should be able to put it through from here. And he does. So it's 31-7 in favor of Saskatchewan. John Gregory not yet ready to smile.
Well, he thinks back to the game that the Ottawa Roughriders played against Winnipeg. Winnipeg jumped out to that huge first half lead and then hung on and won by 11, I believe. But the big thing is, you don't want to ever let down. You run into problems. Steve said, well, what do you think, Damon? What would you like to do, Damon?
He's telling his young quarterback to be patient, not to worry.
That's right. You can't. There's no way Damon Allen can go on a football field on the next series of downs and score 31 points. You got to take it one series at a time, one play at a time. He's 5 for 8, 65 yards, as you see. All he wants to do is try to score touchdowns every time he gets the ball. Be patient. That's the key.
24 new faces in the Ottawa lineup since the season began. That's a lot of new people to get used to.
Nancy and Jill Brugger.
They haven't quite gelled yet as a unit. As Steve Goldman said, they're a very young and inexperienced ball club, whereas Saskatchewan are much older and much more experienced. Stacey Dawsey at the 20. And he's tripped up at the 25.
You know, the difference with Damon Allen here than when he was with Edmonton, the Eskimos had a great supporting cast over there. They had veteran offensive linemen. They had good running backs. They had good receivers. All he had to do is go in and make sure they all got enough work. When he's with the Ottawa Roughriders, right now, everything's on his shoulders. He's the guy that's trying to do everything, and he's putting a lot of pressure on himself by that, and that's the difference between playing with a veteran club and a rookie unsettled club.
Allen just dumps it to Orville Lee. Lee looking for running room. Got some. Good run by Orville Lee down to the 45-yard line of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Albert Brown and Tuane Alapati bring him down. And once you see Orville Lee start to get those legs out front, you know he's going to get to high gear pretty soon.
Not a bad way to start a drive either. You saw Orville Lee sit in there and then swing out and catch the screen, gets a couple blocks downfield. Now, as you say, get those knees up, good balance. We saw him run last year. We know he can run. He needs room to run, and that time he got it.
A 41-yard gain for the Ottawa Roughriders. 1st and 10 from Saskatchewan's 45. Allen with some time, airs it out. He was going long, looking for Cornelius Reddick, but it's incomplete.
He made the right read, though. The ideal situation, all you can ask for as a quarterback is a man-to-man coverage. He just overthrew it.
You're watching Foster CFL on CBC, live from Taylor Field.
I'm tired of us centers getting no recognition. I played 13 seasons in front of millions of fans, made All-Pro twice, and started in 3 Super Bowls. Yet no one knows who I am. Hey, even if I'm not well known, at least my beer is. Miller Lite.
An All-Pro center doesn't drink light just because it tastes less filling. I want the one that tastes great.
Let me get that.
Hey, aren't you Randy Cross?
Miller Lite. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
Introducing 3 of a kind. The instant lottery that 3 aces can win. 3 kings can win. 3 queens can win. 3 jacks can win. 3 tens or other high numbers can win. With 3 of a kind, all kinds can win. And of course, even clubs can play.
Cherry.
He will score again.
Colca. Ridgeway.
Good.
Lair.
We're going home with it.
Salve. Alf. Richard. Touchdown. Tackles count. The stars of the CFL are back.
You're watching the CFL on CBC. We're live from Taylor Field in Regina. It's Steve Armitage along with Ron Lancaster. Scott Oak is down on the sidelines. 2:42 remaining to play second quarter. 2nd and 10 Ottawa. The ball at the 45-yard line of Saskatchewan. Damon Allen puts it up. It's complete. Gerald Wilcox.
Steve, what you see here Damon Allen and the receiver, in this case the rookie Gerald Wilcox, who's learned his lessons well. They bring the halfback up on the line of scrimmage. You immediately anticipate a halfback blitz. As soon as Wilcox sees that, turn to the outside, and that's all Damon does. Throw the ball out to him, gets a first down out of it. Nobody gets hurt, but you must see it, because if you don't, you get hurt.
Damon Allen 50% on second down conversions. First and 10 right now under pressure, and he's sacked. James Curry.
James Curry got there first, but Gary Lewis was right behind him, and Bobby Jurison and Vince Goldsmith weren't far behind.
Number 6 on the season for James Curry, his first of the game.
Watch the pressure come. Look, you saw Damon Allen not even get his feet set to plant and set up to throw the football, and number 78, James Curry, was there. You have to have a little bit more time than that.
2:14 to play. Second quarter. 2nd and 23 now for Ottawa. Deep drop by Allen. Gets away. Completes the pass. Reddick. And he had to get down inside the 25-yard line for the first down. He's just short of that.
Damon's going to have to throw some more screens and run some draws, because the pressure from that front four, they were back there in a hurry. He escaped with his life. Again, watch him. Here they come. Dave Albright, the middle linebacker, and here comes Lewis free. Good move, and he escapes it. And as he steps up, bang, right over his head into the hole. Reddick makes a good catch. They got to get it. Good call by Goldman. Down 3 yards. They need.
Third down situation. Let's see if they can convert this one. It's complete to Skinner. Skinner's got some room. Touchdown.
That's a good move. Normally you get man-to-man coverage. This time they bring the outside linebacker. Eddie Lowe has to cover. The back coming out of the backfield. He can't do it. Just loft it over his head. Skinner turns it into a touchdown. And as we said earlier, Steve, down 31-7. You need points, and with 1:38, if they can get it there, that at least gives them something positive to happen before the half.
Well, Dean Dorsey will attempt to make it 31-14 with the point after, with 1:38 to play in the second quarter. We were thinking this might rate right up there with the Edmonton blowout of Calgary not so long ago, but the Ottawa Roughriders determined to stick into this game. You know, Ronnie, it's interesting to note that the average point differential so far this season has been 6.1 points per game.
Well, I just think of some of the games that we have done. We had some tremendous football games. The Edmonton-Toronto back-to-back series. The Hamilton-Toronto football game. The BC Lions, their game with Saskatchewan, 5 points, and the 6-point loss last game to Hamilton was a great football game. So I think the teams are pretty close. The Ottawa Roughriders are the only team right now that seem to really be struggling, and they just have their problems defensively. Offensively, they move the ball.
Illegal motion. Dorsey will kick this one over again to try and put the 14th point on the board for the Ottawa Roughriders. Kick is good. So now it's 31-14 in favor of the hometown Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Third down and 3. Damon Allen's looking. And you see Eddie Lowe, 42, trying to run with a halfback. The ball's thrown just out of the reach of Lowe, and Skinner just turns upfield. He's going to get a little bit of heat, but no pressure. He's going to walk into the end zone. Too much speed. That's what an ideal situation. A linebacker covering a back.
Chris Skinner giving the Ottawa Roughriders their first major of the game, and he leaves the field favoring his leg, limping just a bit. As he made the reception, he seemed to stumble just a bit, and he may have twisted the ankle or something.
Eddie Lowe running with him, and that's the guy that pulled up lame a little bit and allowed Skinner just to turn upfield and go untouched into the end zone.
Ronnie, for us not to have expected a high-scoring game from John Gregory and company, along with Steve Goldman and his club, would have been a mistake tonight. These are two of the highest scoring teams in the CFL. They love to put points on the board.
Well, that's Steve's strength. Steve Goldman was an offensive-minded coach when he was an offensive coordinator, and he hasn't changed as a head coach. He is still in control of that offense, and they move the ball very well. 45 points so far in the game. We've got 1:38 remaining to play in the second quarter. Tuna Alapati with the ball for Saskatchewan. And he's brought down at the 35-yard line by Robert Reed. 1:32 Saskatchewan has a lot of time. Ottawa would love to see a turnover right here and maybe get some more points, but those stats on Burgess pretty impressive. 15 for 22, over 200 yards. Has things going his way tonight. The last couple series, at least Ottawa is coming close to him now. They've got to get to him soon.
3 TDs for Burgess. 1st and 10 now for Saskatchewan from the 35. McRae trying to find some running room once he turned the corner. Billy Jackson there to greet him and bring him down.
Well, you see him start to the wide side of the field, then he hands the ball to McRae. They pull number 64, Ken Moore, the left tackle, and now all McRae does try to get in behind him and hide. But Billy Jackson again reads it pretty well and is there to make the hit.
We remind you to stay tuned after tonight's game for the Foster's MVP. And up until now, it would have automatically gone to a Saskatchewan Roughrider, but the Ottawa Roughriders need to come back, make a game out of this. So it could go anywhere right now. Burgess. Pass down the middle, complete to Ray Elgard. And Elgard, if he's not at that mark, he's very close to it now. One away, we think, from becoming the all-time pass reception leader.
Get a good look at what a quarterback sees. With that black jersey coming at you, you don't worry about him. You look for that receiver. As he turns to the inside, you throw it there. Elgard makes the catch, and he's still got time to go.
Flag down. Jones.
Burgess pass complete to 32, Milson Jones.
And Jones is brought down at the 53-yard line, but there are flags down. Elgard is now tied with Christopher France for the all-time pass reception lead in the history of the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
I think Elgard's also leads in offsides by receivers. I think back 3 or 4 years ago when they started and when all the teams went to that slot back getting the running
Offside,
start.
Saskatchewan number 81.
That's
First down
twice
repeated.
tonight.
Well, he more than makes up for that with those marvelous soft hands and that great height and bulk. He's such a great target for the Saskatchewan quarterbacks and has been over the years. 1st and 15 in Saskatchewan from their own 47. 51 seconds to play, second quarter.
No.
Jones. And Jones gets up to about the 51, 52-yard line. Robert Weir there to make the tackle.
That's the favorite play of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They like to swing Milson Jones into the short side of the field, give him the football. It's like a running screen. Give him the ball, bring the lineman out. But what happened is Baldwin, the end fell off, forced him inside, and Weir made the tackle.
Elgard with a chance to become the all-time Saskatchewan pass receiver, dropping that pass.
He didn't want a slant. He wants a touchdown. If you're going to do something, do it right. Say, don't throw to me until we get down near the goal line.
Had he been able to hang on to that, he had some room in front of him. So that'll bring on Baker to punt for Saskatchewan. Dawsey and Reddick back to receive this punt. And it's a beauty. Reddick at the 10. 20. He loses the ball. Saskatchewan, I believe, had recovered. Ottawa indicating they haven't, but I believe it'll be Saskatchewan. James Ellingson jumping on that ball for Saskatchewan.
Almost a heck of a play. He had a little bit of a hole and started up through there. He turned on the jet when he needed to. He just forgot to take the football with him. And now again, Saskatchewan has a chance to put more points on the board. 26 seconds in which to do it. That's the time remaining until halftime. 1st and 10, Saskatchewan, the ball at the 32. They lead 31-14. Lots of time for Burgess. Puts it up. Elgard makes the reception, but I believe he's going to be out of bounds. Couldn't keep those feet in bounds, and that would have given him the record also. So he's dropped one, he's caught one, but he was out of bounds. Yeah, keep him in suspense a while. There's no hurry. He's a few more games to play this year. He gets the feet up, drums for it, cannot get the foot back down in bounds. Referee standing there says you're out of bounds, no good. 19 seconds away from halftime, and don't forget, inside the CFL tonight, the story on the BC Lions. Fired coach Larry Donovan, new coach Joe Galat, and Stu Kehoe. With Scott Oates. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Fairholm. Sean Moody, the safety man, the rookie defensive back with the Ottawa Roughriders, starting his first game tonight. He's 6'3", 185-pounder from York University. known to be a good hitter. Talking to Steve Goldman about him today, that's what he liked. He says, we need a guy back there that will go and make things happen. On that particular play, it looked like the pass was going to be complete, and bang, he arrived and knocked him.
That brings on Mr. Consistency, and from within the 40-yard line, he's deadly. This one from the 39. And again, he lives up to that reputation as robo kicker with 12 seconds remaining till halftime. Ridgway makes it 34-14 with a 39-yarder.
Well, when you turn the ball over down where the Ottawa team fumbled that football, they don't get the touchdown. But Ridgway, as you've mentioned, and as everybody knows that follows the CFL, he just doesn't miss field goals inside that 40. So if you don't get the turnover, they're going to get at least 3. And right now, they're happy to take 3.
Not much time for the Ottawa Roughriders to do a great deal on offense, but I would imagine that Damon Allen would attempt to air one out here.
Well, I don't know about that. I think you might look for a screen or something. 12 seconds isn't a whole lot of time to go to distance. And look at Saskatchewan sitting so deep.
Well, he tries one out to the sidelines to Chris Skinner. And Skinner stopped short of the 40.
I think now he may throw one deep with 4 seconds. He had him going deep down the seams. He had 4 receivers trying to go down the field, but he elected to come off to Skinner.
Clock is running. This should be the final play of the opening half.
Field goal number for
2nd and 6.
$25
Balls at the
long
39.
gift certificate of SaskTel 33436.
This time he airs one out, and it was almost complete. Richie Hall defending well on the play against Gerald Alpha.
Yards is a pretty good 30 minutes of work. That's usually a game. You can get I've seen games with less yardage than that, but right now the possession time's pretty well evened out, but explosiveness and big plays has been the difference for Saskatchewan so far. That's why you got all those yards.
Tom Burgess starts the second half, the quarterback for Saskatchewan. Jones, the ball carrier. Jones gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe about a half a yard short.
He wanted to go to his right. He couldn't go there. He had to turn and come back. 17 of 27, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. I kind of thought we'd see Austin in the ballgame.
So did I, because the head coach said he would like to give Austin some playing time. They lead 34-14. Second half just underway.
He said he would play. He was going to get him in. I figured with a lead like that, this is a good time to get him the experience.
McCray, and he crosses the midfield stripe, gets into Ottawa territory. Charles Merritt hauls him down.
Right up the middle. Mike Anderson, Roger Aldag, and Brian Illebrand right in the middle. The quarterback goes back like it's a pass, hands off to McCray, and boy, did they open it up inside for McCray to run. Watch him. Look at that. Milson Jones makes the block on 35. Patrick Wayne, and McCray goes right around him. Coming from the backside, Merritt has a long way to run.
13:36 to play, third quarter, as Elgard comes into the game, replacing Don Narcisse for Saskatchewan. 3rd and 1, not much of a gamble with that offensive line. Burgess just keeps himself, goes over the middle, picks up the first down.
Right in behind him, just come off the ball. That's when your offensive line, you tell them you have to get off the ball. That's about as good an example as you can see on television. If the quarterback can just go forward with the surge of the offensive line, you can't stop 1 yard.
To say that John Gregory has an experienced team, I'd be putting about 32 or 38 players on the roster were there in 1988.
Well, when you just look at that offensive line, Ken Moore 7 years, and then Mike Anderson at 6. But Roger Aldag 14, Illebrand 12, and Stevenson 8. That is a veteran offensive line.
Bob Poley is into the game, replacing Illebrand. 1st and 10 for Saskatchewan from the 51-yard line. Burgess, quick pass, and it's incomplete.
Throws a hot. That's a hot again. All you do is take the back in the flat, and then coming right into that open area, Ray Elgard, Burgess just threw it behind him. Milson Jones, they know they block an awful lot. Bang, pick up that linebacker. That's your man, 34. If he gets up on the line of scrimmage, you got to get up on the line of scrimmage. He let him get a little bit too much penetration.
2nd and 10, again from the 51. In and out of the arms of Jeff Fairholm. Incomplete.
Good coverage. He ran a hook pattern just down, stop at the 1st and 10 marker. Pat Wayne, 35, was there. And then coming underneath, another linebacker comes over to help out. You have to throw it away from the defender. Fairholm couldn't hold it.
As the Ottawa Roughrider punt return team come onto the field. Terry Baker getting set to punt. Low spiral, angling onto the corner. Reddick is there. Reddick going back. You can't go back too much further. He had a foot in the end zone, but he's picked up some ground, forced out of bounds at the 15-yard line. You're watching Foster's CFL on CBC. Right, and as for the private use of our audience, reproduction or retransmission in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is strictly prohibited. I'm Steve Armitage along with Ron Lancaster in the booth. Scott Oak is down on the sidelines. We've got 12:05 remaining to play in third quarter for John Gregory and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, enjoying a 34-14 lead over the Ottawa Roughriders. Ottawa still looking for their first win of this young season. They came in 0-4, and they're pinning much of their hopes on a young quarterback, Damon Allen, who has been under the gun a bit tonight. A whole lot. Gets that pass away. It falls incomplete. Intended for Byron Williams.
See Damon's stats, 10 of 15, 169 yards and a touchdown. Those are not bad statistics for 30 minutes of football. On this particular play, he rolls to the wide side of the field. If you're going to throw the ball to the outside, you have to plant the foot and step forward. The pressure from Saskatchewan caused him to throw off the back foot, which means it's going to go into the ground a little bit low.
So Allen and the Roughriders will do it again. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 15. Flips a bit, gets up, and tries to run himself. He had to get up to the 25-yard line. Donovan Wright over there to make the tackle for Saskatchewan.
Going to be a little bit short, I believe. He's going to be about 1 yard short, and I don't think Steve's going to take any chances. He looks like he's going to punt the football. Here's what the quarterback sees. Back to pass. Albright's 39 coming on a blitz. It opens up front. He avoids the sack of Lewis, and now it's just try to get 10. Get down low and dive. Don't take too many hits to the body. Not when you're built like Damon. He's not the biggest guy in the world.
Tom Schimmer comes on to punt, and he'll get the punt away from the 15-yard line. Came into the game averaging 39 yards a punt. That's better than his average, taken by Albert Brown, and Brown dropped at the 47-yard line by Larry Hogue.
Good field position start again. Tom Burgess stays in at quarterback. I think what they'll do is try to get him another touchdown. You know, let him lead the offense down to another touchdown and then have him call it a night. I know Steve Goldman would like to rest Damon Allen, either when they've got a big lead or they're losing big. But like he said, we must play him. The team has got to get confidence, and he needs to play. So I look for Damon to go the whole way.
1st and 10, Saskatchewan. Ball at the 47. 10:46 to play, third quarter. Good pass to McRae. Across the midfield stripe and gets into Ottawa territory at the 54-yard line. Scott?
Well, Steve, Saskatchewan head coach John Gregory told us in the first 3 games, the last 3 games the Riders have played, they've faced blitzing defenses, and as a result, Saskatchewan quarterbacks, in particular Tom Burgess, have benefited from this flak jacket, modified and designed by their equipment manager, Normie Fong. Tom Burgess may not have taken many shots tonight, but he took a lot in the Riders' last 3 games, and this has provided some protection for his kidneys and his lower rib cage. Steve?
Scott, something that may have prolonged the career of my broadcast partner, Ron Lancaster. Did not know what a flak jacket was, just went out there with shirt and pads on.
No.
Another myth about to be blown
all here. They blow them all, Steve. That offensive line does a good job. Watch his just come off the football, knock him out there, and let the good backs run. Milson Jones, take it straight ahead. Take what you can get. Gets hit, bounces off. Milson's good at bouncing off, keeping those legs moving. Finally, falls forward, but he's got a 1st and 10. With that offensive line job, get him into the secondary, and then it's up to him to get it.
Jones and McRae have done the job for the Riders so far. Again, Jones, this time, down across the 45-yard line.
It's a good time to work on that running game. When you have a lead, when you're running the football, time's going off the clock, and you don't get to work live in practice. You don't beat your players up in practice. We heard the coaches from Ottawa and Saskatchewan tell us today, they haven't even worn pads because they need the rest for the players. this is the time to work on your running game a little bit.
2nd and 5 from the 45. 9:06 to play, third quarter. 34-14. Saskatchewan lead. Quick pass over the middle, complete to McRae. McRae down inside the 50-yard line. Brought down by Derek Wilson.
Well, coming from the reverse now, we're going to see McRae just jump out of the backfield and inside. He saw the linebackers coming. Burgess is checking his wrist. Watch, coming to your side, bottom of the screen. There goes McRae. Burgess sees him, throws it hot. They say he's good at that, and you're seeing why. And then you get him into the secondary, and he's got good speed. Well, it's tough to blitz a quarterback when he reads it that fast.
A 32-yard gain for Saskatchewan. 1st and 10, ball at the 14. Burgess to a wide open Jones. Jones should go in from there. He does.
Look downfield, look him off. You saw Tom Burgess look deep. The defenders kept dropping. He just throws it out into flat to Milson Jones. Jones goes in, not much problem. I think that's what, 4 touchdown passes for Burgess?
You cannot give a big power back like Milson Jones that much room. Ridgway with the point after, and that makes it 41-14. More action from Taylor Field in Regina. Milson Jones giving the Saskatchewan Roughriders a 41-14 lead. It took them 2 minutes and 44 seconds on the drive and only 5 plays.
Tom Burgess, now as we said, he'll look downfield. Look down. Keep your eyes downfield. Go to the flat with it after you look those defenders. Make them get deep. Now just head to the goal line. He bounces around, dives in. No problem.
Row 44.
Come off.
Seat number 23. Bring your game ticket
Don't
down.
give him the seam. He's got the seam.
Now.
Splits it. Touchdown. Nothing to it.
Coming up on the scoreboard is the touchdown.
Just the way it was diagrammed, but you give that man any kind of room and he's going to do it to you. And he did. Dawson up to 25. Got some room. And tripped up as he crossed the 35-yard line. Don Narcisse making the tackle. A 61-yard kick, a 25-yard return. The battle of the quarterbacks so far, all Burgess. 305 to 169.
Well, I think the difference is that Burgess has come up with big plays. They've turned little dump passes like that last one we saw to McRae, turns it to 32-yard gains. Allen is working hard for his because he's getting a lot of pressure. He's got to still stay patient. You can't get him back all at once.
Allen dumps it off the lead. Orville Lee up to the 42-yard line. Donovan Wright there to make the tackle.
Donovan Wright just dropped back, and when the ball's laid off, he's up to make a hit. He's ordering pizza. He's going to play now. He's going to be hungry. They're telling him just go out and have fun. Stay with the game plan, have fun. No problem.
Loaf of bread and a quart of milk.
That's right. You know, big thing you tell them, you haven't played in a while, just go and have a good time.
2nd and 7 for Ottawa. They have the ball. Ball at the 42. Allen with time, airs it out down the middle, looking for Gerald Alphen, who has not seen that much action tonight, has 1 reception, and that's most unusual for Ottawa. Down to Scott. And Scott, the 10 days that the Ottawa or the Saskatchewan Roughriders have between now and their next game will be put to good use. Time to rest those injured players. Schimmer with a good high punt. Albert Brown at his 20. Brown dropped at the 37-yard line. And don't forget our next game on CBC, the CFL on CBC, Thursday night.
Defense to contend with, so that'll be a good one.
McRae picks his way up to the 40-yard line.
Quarterback is
a couple of nifty little dance steps in there to avoid tackles.
Number 75, Don Baldwin, was in a little battle with Vic Stevenson. As we look at Kent Austin's stats, 1 interception, 50% on the season. Thought he was being held, so Baldwin gave him a little shot. Kent Austin, he's a good football player. This is where a big advantage Saskatchewan has on Ottawa. Kent Austin's a proven quarterback. They can put him in.
It's time to put it up. He was looking down the right sidelines for Narcisse, and Narcisse claiming he was interfered with by Daryl Hopper and Tyrone Pope down the right side. Ken Austin coming into this game having completed 50% of his passes. He was 11 for 22, but that one falling incomplete, so he's just below 50%.
I think, if I remember right, he started the opening game against the Calgary Stampeders, and then Burgess come on in that fourth quarter, and he scored all those points, and since then, tough to get him out of the lineup.
A Baker punt taken by Darcy. Darcy does well to finally go out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Forced out there by John Hoffman, a 42-yard punt, a 14-yard return.
The last series, what we saw Damon Allen do is throw the ball deep on second down. Saskatchewan's going to sit back. They're not going to allow you to hit them big ones on them. You can't score throwing deep right now. He's got to prove that they can move the offense against this tough Saskatchewan defense and stay short, pick up first downs.
The lead for John Gregory and company, 41-14, 5:41 remaining to play, third quarter. Over the middle, intending for Denny Ferdinand. It's incomplete.
Well, he paid a heck of a price right there as he dumped that ball to Ferdinand. Number 39, Dave Albright, middle linebacker, ran right over top of him. That's Eddie Ray Walker. I would say he's definitely not coming back tonight, even before I saw his ankle. I mean, he just sweatsuits just aren't going to get it.
A suspected broken ankle, and that is not the kind of news that John Gregory wanted to hear. 2nd and 10 for Damon Allen and the Ottawa Roughriders. Ball at the 42. Allen under pressure. Cannot get away. His sack. James Curry once again, his 2nd sack of the game, 7th of the season.
But watch the pressure from Donovan Wright, number 22. Watch him. He's going to come into your screen. There he comes, and he comes clean right through, forces Damon Allen to step around him, and this in turn allows Curry, who's been knocked on the ground, to make the sack. But Donovan Wright jumped through that hole, and you can't allow that to happen. He'll get the quarterback before he knows what hit him.
And when James Curry gets one hand on you, 9 times out of 10, you're going down.
30966.
Shimmer to punt. End over end. Brown at the 30. Tries to reverse his field, slips and goes down. You're watching Foster's CFL. Here at Taylor Field in Regina, it's 41-14 for the hometown Riders. 4:47 remaining to play, third quarter. 1st and 10, Saskatchewan. The ball at the 29. Austin, lots of time to put that one up. Looking for Narcisse way downfield.
He got a little bit of pressure that time. He got hit pretty good, and so did the receiver Narcisse. Sean Booty coming from that safety position. That's what Steve Goldman wants. He wants some collisions with those receivers. Well, he got one. This time we're going to see Austin looking deep, lets it go, and who's going to put the hit on him? Number 75, Don Baldwin. That's his strength. That's what they got him for. Good pass rusher.
Well, that'll make it 2nd and 10 for the Saskatchewan quarterback, who came on in relief of Tom Burgess, who did an outstanding job. Gives it to McCray. McCray shy of the first down. John Ulmer, the former BC Lion, there to make the stop for Ottawa.
Great tackle by...
He needs to shave. Tom needs to shave. Go take a shave, Tom. You're not going to play anymore. He has reasons to smile. He's had a pretty good night, hasn't he?
A very productive night.
I couldn't believe we hit town yesterday and people were complaining about you can't win with a guy that completes 42% of his passes. He's thrown 10 touchdowns in 4 games and 3 more tonight, or whatever it is.
Baker has to hurry the punt. And it bounces into bounds. Stacey Dawsey can't get a hand on it before it goes into bounds. So it'll be 1st and 10 Ottawa from the 28-yard line. They have to put some points on the board. As Steve Goldman and the Ottawa Roughriders are going to go home happy. They trail 41-14, 4:02 to play, third quarter.
Interesting sitting talking to Steve today. I mean, he's a straight shooter. If you ask him questions, you get straight answers from him. He says, we're just not good enough yet. He says, hopefully now, we're not going to make many more changes. We're going to start putting this team together, because he has made a few since training camp started.
Ferdinand Ferdinand brought down at the 25-yard line. Gary Lewis there to make the stop.
Gary Lewis.
Gets tough right now. You know, they know you have to throw the football. As we said going into the football game, they haven't been in a position to run the ball a lot. They're always trailing. And now you look up at the scoreboard and you see the score reading the way it is, 41-14. You've got to throw that defensive line. They start just their time of night now. They know they're going to get some sacks.
2nd and 12, so they lose 2 on the last play. And Damon Allen is brought down in the backfield. Bobby Jurasek, his first sack of the game, 3rd of the season.
Well, you have Denny Ferdinand, number 20, blocking on Jurasek, and the pressure from the front 4, they force him to step up, and then Jurasek comes and makes the tackle. Watch him. See 79 go outside, Albright up the middle, force him to move. Jurasek now has gotten rid of Denny Ferdinand. He's there to make the sack. You're going to get sacks now. He needs a shave, too.
The samurai bandana. I certainly wouldn't tell him that.
Me neither. That's why I'm up here. I can say that.
3rd and 15, so the Rough Riders forced to punt. Schimmer. It's a good spiral. Brown. And brought down at the 50-yard line. That was Richie Hall. So once again, Saskatchewan will have excellent field position. The Ottawa Rough Riders just not able to dig themselves out of the hole, both in a positional sense and the big hole they've dug for themselves on the scoreboard. They trail 41-14.
I look across the field. I see Tony Kimbrough warming up. Might be nice to see the young man play.
That record set by Austin at Mississippi. McCray looking for some running room. Very tough to bring down.
This is that time when you're ahead this many points. If you're the offensive team of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, all you want to do is see the time roll off the clock. You know you can win the football game, but you want that clock to run. McCray and Allen up in the rushing leaders. I know the Saskatchewan's happy about McCray being up there, but I don't think Ottawa is that happy to see Damon Allen ranked 5th.
Austin to pass over the middle, complete, incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Tyrone Pope doing a good job covering on Elgard. And Elgard still looking for that elusive reception that will make him the all-time pass receiver.
He's not going to catch it till it's down near the end zone. He doesn't want it. Take a look and see what happens. Hopper, the corner, covering Narcisse, the receiver. Give him the shove. Now break to the outside. But by then, Austin's looking somewhere else. He came inside, and it allowed Pope to jump on Elgard's back.
Baker to punt with a 3rd and 7 situation. A wobbly punt off the side of his foot. Cornelius Reddick was there to try and return it, but no return on the punt. Goes out of bounds. And it looks as if we're going to get a new quarterback for the Ottawa Rough Riders, Tony Kimbrough.
6'2", 180 pounds, a rookie out of Western Michigan. Talking to Coach Goldman about him today, he said he'd love to get him into the games more. He said, but he felt he had to keep Damon in there to play and try to get consistency. But I think it's a good idea tonight. Give him a chance to play his first snap of the season.
Saw some playing time in the exhibition season, but this is his first play of the regular season in the CFL. Kimbrough puts it up. It's complete. Williams upended at the 45-yard line, so Kimbrough will long remember that pass if he stays in the league for any length of time. His first one in regular season play, complete to Williams for the first down, and a good gain.
This is the one thing they've had success with tonight, throwing the ball to the outside, so Kimbrough comes right with it. You know, he's on the sidelines writing down all the plays, therefore he knows what's going. He comes right back and throws you out to Byron Williams.
Have moved it up to the 47-yard line. This time to give to Orville Lee. Lee trying to find some running room on the left side.
It's a good move. You know, his instructions from Steve Goldman had to be go in and play the football game like it's nothing. You know, don't go in there and try to throw long, score touchdowns. This is your first opportunity to play. Just go in and run it like you'd run a normal game.
Yep. Okay.
Spends a lot of time on the phone, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Maybe he didn't get the order right the first time. Little action before the snap of the ball.
The pizza place called back to make sure he's the guy that ordered it.
Make sure he was holding the anchovies. What's the call?
Legal procedure. Ottawa number 57.
You're going to get this now with a rookie quarterback coming into a football game. You're going to get the change in the cadence. All quarterbacks have a little different way of calling signals, and as he gets under center, the way he calls the signals, you see his offensive lineman move. That's number 57, Brad Fossick. Can't come out of that stance.
Story of the penalty so far in this game. Second and 11. And the flags go down again.
This time, Yellorenko, the right tackle, moved too fast, and then Kimbrough slipped.
And James Curry was there to give Mr. Kimbrough
Legal procedure.
warm CFL
Ottawa number
welcome.
69 declined. Third down.
Oh, what are we doing out here now?
At the end of the third quarter,
Elford, what's he going to do? Just run a pattern?
We caught him in midair.
I guess he didn't like it.
You're watching Foster's CFL on Jana, and it will begin with an Ottawa Roughrider punt. Schimmer get this away from his own 27-yard line. Good high spiral. Richie Hall under it. Hall at the 33, back to the 30. Looking for some room, gets up to the 35-yard line where he's brought down, and once again the Saskatchewan Roughriders will have good field position from which to work as Kent Austin brings out the offensive troops onto the field. Richie Hall makes his way to the bench.
You know, it's amazing. We talk about Kent Austin being a regular and a veteran. I mean, he started the season as the #1 man. He hasn't played in about 3 games, and you can see the rust. You know, you can practice all you want, but game conditions are a lot different, aren't they?
Austin under pressure gets away from the first would-be tackler and then just fires the ball to the Saskatchewan Roughrider trainer.
Normie Fong, the equipment man, he dropped it. I can't believe that. He got better hands than that. It's going to be intentional grounding.
Normie looks like he should be playing offensive tackle and not wide receiver on the sideline.
Keeps a pretty neat clubhouse.
He certainly does. One of the neatest I've ever seen. Let's get the call from Ken Lasberg.
Deliberated 10th grounding. Second down.
Well, they recognize that as deliberate grounding. There's the play selection so far. 10 rush, 21 pass for the Ottawa Roughriders. 17 rush, 36 pass for Saskatchewan. That's a good ratio, I think.
Both coaches would be happy with that. All they want, the Ottawa team would like to have more production out of it, that's all. But the ratio is pretty good.
Ball at the 35, second and 17. Austin under pressure, gets it away, complete to Bob Bresciani. Bresciani, good move. Bresciani up to midfield. Larry Hogue brings him down.
Turning wide open in the flat. He went up, he made his block, he leaked out into the flat, and when Austin had to scramble, he couldn't help but see him. He's standing wide open out here. Look at Austin looking downfield. Now Bresciani's already taken off. That allows the linebacker to come. But look, when he catches the football, who's close to him? Nobody. And then he just makes a good move right here, gets inside, picks up good yardage.
Fourth quarter just nicely underway. 13:22 to play as they try the reverse. Fairholm. And Fairholm stopped dead in his tracks at the 50-yard line. Runs smack into Ulmer.
You hear that hit all the way up here. Those two helmets colliding like that. Coming wide. He's going to try to cut back, and he slips a little bit right here. And watch the heads. Bang. John Ulmer, North Dakota, from Winnipeg. Played some with the Bombers, out to the lines, and now in Saskatchewan.
Second and 5. Complete. Narcisse out at the 42-yard line. Forced out there by Darryl Hopper.
A little bit of pressure on him, but he made the throw. The more he completes, the better the feel he'll get used to playing again, get sharp.
Austin came in relief of Burgess, who had moved the Saskatchewan offense exceptionally well in the first half. First and 10, ball at the 42. Austin to McCray. And McCray tripped up inside the 40-yard line by Darryl Hopper.
Sets in there and allows it to clear out and then just go look for an open area. McCray makes a catch, but Hopper was there that time. Didn't give him a chance to get started. He got 3 yards.
Is free. It's 2nd down 7.
That Ottawa defense out there a long time. And that's one thing that head coach Steve Goldman did not want to have happen to his defense tonight, especially against the Saskatchewan offense. Austin has time. There's one out for Elgard. Touchdown! No! In and out of his arms. Elgard says, yes, I had it.
He didn't have it.
And the man right next to him says, no, you didn't again. That would have given Elgard the record, and I'm sure that's the one he wanted.
Don't throw him anymore. Make him wait till next game. No, he did drop the football. He did not have control of it when the ball popped out. The ball wobbled a little bit. He got behind Tyrone Pope. The ball was there. I don't think he had it.
I don't know that he ever had control of it. And that is the key. You must be able to control the football. So now Ridgway will attempt his 3rd field goal of the game. On the 46. It is good. You're watching Foster's CFL on CBC live from Tiller Field. Steady job for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And look where he is, all-time points leader in the CFL, number 8 overall. Dave Cutler, of course, number 1. Ridgway with 1,103 points.
So we're still waiting
up
for Rough Rider jersey numbers. Those seated in section 25.
You can't survive in the CFL without a consistent place kicker, and Ridgway has been that for a number of years.
Section 24,
Saskatchewan.
row 44, C23. Come down to the timekeeper's bench.
11:29 to play, 4th quarter. 44-14 favors Saskatchewan. Cornelius Reddick. Good head of steam. Still on his feet. Good return by Cornelius Reddick into Saskatchewan territory. Jeff Fairholm pulls him down.
That's a good job running with the football by Reddick. He just arrived from the Edmonton Eskimos. Needed somebody at that wide receiver position to go get the football, help him out on special teams. Well, he brought it back 42 yards, and that's good position for Kimbrough to start. We don't like to see that rookie start way back in his own end.
There's Reddick. Doesn't even look as if he's breathing hard after that return. 1st and 10, ball at the 53. Kimbrough, the 3-step drop, and then passes to Orville. No, make that Denny Ferdinand. Thought it was Orville Lee, but it was Ferdinand.
Richie Hall right up where he should be. Boy, he took one look. When Kimbrough cocked that arm to throw that little swing, he was in the backfield. You can see him now. He sees him look out here. As soon as he sees that quarterback turn, he comes off the field. He gets there and makes the tackle before those 2 linemen of Ottawa can get out there and block him.
I think that play has to be a little quicker developing. Slow set up. 2nd and 12. Kimbrough. In and out of the arms of Byron Williams.
Never saw it. Never saw it. Albert Brown was coming in front of him looking for the interception. He forced the ball to be high. He gets it if the ball's down. Brown had been going the other way, just thrown a little bit late.
One of the things that Steve Goldman said impressed him about Kimbrough was his arm. He shows us a good arm right there on the run.
See Albert Brown stepping in front. If that ball's thrown down on the money, they're going the other way with it. But as you say, he can throw it.
Punting situation for Tom Shimmer, 3rd and 12. Richie Hall. Hall jumps over one man, stopped short of the 30-yard line, brought down at the 28. 10:01 remaining to play. 4th quarter. About the rushers, one-sided to say the least. McCray against Lee, 96-20 in favor of the Saskatchewan running back, and he's likely to see more action before this one's over. 1st and 10. Austin back to pass, puts it up, looking for Fairholm's got him. Fairholm dragged down inside the 40-yard line by Darrell Hopper, and that's about the 4th time that Hopper has had to pull somebody down to prevent the touchdown, and Fairholm went down. And again, Austin puts it up complete to McCray. McCray dropped at the 27-yard line. Charles Merritt there to make the tackle.
If you look at Austin right now, when he came in to start his time in this football game, First 3 or 4 passes he threw weren't real sharp. He is delivering the football now with a lot of authority, which means the confidence starts to come back, the game action takes over, and now he's pleased with his performance. You have to play as a quarterback to stay sharp.
That was good for the first down. The ball's at the 26, 1st and 10. Austin puts it up, complete. Elgard, finally the record. Ron Lancaster, you were right. He was saving the record-catching catch for a touchdown.
You don't want to mess around. Why catch until you can score? You remember it better. 329, there it is. Now he's number 1. He'll say, I got a touchdown on it, too.
He moves 1 catch in front of Chris DeFrance to become the all-time leading Saskatchewan receiver. This is Foster's CFL. Welcome back to Taylor Field in Regina, where the Saskatchewan Roughriders have just put together another touchdown drive, capped by this pass from Austin to Elgard.
What's the delivery? Nice throw, as I said. He's getting confidence. Elgard makes a nice catch in the hole, in the open zone, falls into the end zone. Got the touchdown on his record-setting catch.
And he moves 1 catch in front of Chris DeFrance, as signaled by Kent Austin for Ray Elgard. 51-14, Saskatchewan over the Ottawa Roughriders. We were talking to John Goldman before the game. He said, you know, we haven't been blown out in any of our games except the Winnipeg game at Lansdowne Park. They're certainly getting blown out in this one. Stacey Dawsey just simply couldn't find the handle on that one. Donovan right there to bring him down. And while we were away for that last Foster's break, a standing ovation for Ray Elgard.
Well, there's a couple of pretty good receivers he passed up in Chris DeFrance. Now he's just about to go by Hugh Campbell. He's had a good career. And people here appreciate football, and he's played a lot of good football for this club.
And he made the record-setting catch, touchdown. 1st and 10, Ottawa. Kimbrough to put it on. Complete to Reddick. Reddick close to the first down.
That's where you can test the quarterback's arm. When he can take the ball and drop it right back, the ball's fairly close to this hash mark, and throw it to the wide side of the field, on the money, on time. Got a pretty good arm.
He was more than close. He had the first down by a yard. So it's 1st and 10 Ottawa. The ball at the 46-yard line. 8:24 to play, 4th quarter. 51-14, Saskatchewan lead. Reed. Good hole. Reed down inside the 50-yard line.
Robert Reed.
Robert Reed played a little bit of football here in Saskatchewan. He's been in the league 6 years out of Simon Fraser. Getting a chance to carry the football, and the draw play worked pretty well, and Harry Skipper had to make the tackle.
7:56 to play. The clock is running here at Taylor Field. Ball at the 49. Little early motion before the snap of the ball. Kimbrough really airs this one out. He was looking for Byron Williams, almost the interception. Albert Brown almost pulled that one in. Let's go to Scott. In and out of the arms of a Saskatchewan Rough Rider. Was intended for Alphen.
Dave Albright, the middle linebacker, seemed to get over there awful quick. This guy's played a pretty good football game tonight. You know, that front four, they get a lot of publicity, but he leads them in tackles, and that time he's over there defending the pass, and he's played very well for him the last few years.
7:11 to play. 2nd and 5 Ottawa. Ball at the 44. Kimbrough puts it up again, intended for Williams, incomplete. Albert Brown was covering on the play, on the fingertips of Williams again, so he's not overthrowing by that much.
Going to get a holding call here against Ottawa.
Holding. Ottawa number 20 declined. 3rd down.
Saskatchewan declining the penalty, as you might expect, forcing the Ottawa Roughriders to once again punt the ball. I'm not sure that I wouldn't gamble here. You're down 51-14. What's the sense in punting?
I have a point there. 5 yards to go.
Schirmer. Narcisse lets it bounce. And they'll pick up a point. They need a lot more than single points. That makes it 51-15 with 6:41 to play in the fourth quarter. Burgess for sure. How about the receivers? Elgard and Fairmont. How about McCray? Milson Jones. Bresciani, the ball carrier that time for Saskatchewan. So head coach John Gregory going to his bench. Give the backup players a chance to show what they can do.
You know, you see a score of 51-14 or whatever it is up there, 51-15. You tell them, you know, you don't want to run the score up, but you can't tell the backup quarterback to go in there and not throw the football. This is when they get a chance to throw it, work on their timing.
Austin puts it up, looking for Narcisse. Incomplete. Hopper is covering on the play.
Took a heck of a hit from Lloyd Lewis. That defensive lineman, Ottawa Roughriders, one of their strong people up there, put good pressure on him. Just that ball was released, he dropped them.
I like the job that Hopper's done tonight. He's been beaten on a couple of plays, but he just doesn't quit.
Good coverage downfield. See Hopper just sitting back there waiting on it. Didn't go for that first move.
Punt from Baker. Dawsey, 35. And he's knocked back to the 34-33 yard line. Junior Robinson over there to force the punt returner out of bounds. So that brings on Tony Kimbrough once again. Kimbrough replacing Damon Allen as the quarterback for the Ottawa Roughriders, seeing his first regular season CFL action for Steve Goldman and the Riders. 5:30 to play. 51-50 score in favor of Saskatchewan. Kimbrough. Brilliant. Brought down by Albert Brown.
It's the only pass that they've been consistently able to throw tonight. It's that quick short out to the outside. And they're going to, Saskatchewan's going to be more than willing to give that to you. Now, they're just not going to try to get beat deep. They don't mind you taking the football and working it down the field, using some time off the clock. They're just not going to gamble on letting you beat them deep.
Request for measurement. The Ottawa Roughriders below average in their passing game. Saskatchewan well above their average, as reflected in the score, 51-15. They're going to measure this. Might be an exercise in futility when you look at the scoreboard.
It's the first down.
But Steve Goldman says we'll take him any way we can get him.
Right now you have to. Just got to keep plugging away. Not a pleasant time. It's a tough place to be is on that side of the field and looking up that scoreboard and trailing them by that many points.
Kimbrough. Flags go down. Kimbrough puts it up, and a good defensive play. That was intended for Alphen, but a flag was down.
Slot back this side of the field. Steve Howlett, 32, was offside. But
Ottawa number 32 declined.
Well played by the Harry skipper. He just sat back in that zone, and again, when that ball is thrown, he goes to it. Look over here a little longer. You got to hold him. Just can't throw it in there quick enough.
Second down and 10.
Kimbrough's not very happy, but Skipper's the guy that made the play. Good defense.
49.
Kimbrough, the moment he had the ball in his hands, was nailed by Gary Lewis. His third sack of the game, 5th of the season.
I don't know if you can ever get in there much faster than he did on that particular play. He timed the snap just right, and when Kimbrough got the ball, he was already reaching for him. Watch number 79. There he goes. Look at that. He is inside. He jumped inside to the tackle, Kerry Yelerenko, and he was reaching for Kimbrough before he had 2 steps.
And many of the fans here at Taylor Field are making their way towards the exit, as well they might. 51-15 in favor of the hometown Riders as Ottawa is set to punt. Narcisse lets it bounce, picks it up, and just goes down, sits down at the 35-yard line. Is he sliding into third base there?
Whatever he was, he didn't make any attempt to get up, and that was the wise thing. You just sit there, they'll just touch you. You try to get up, they're going to let you have it. Played a pretty solid game tonight for that front four. Gary Lewis has been in a lot of plays. I haven't seen Lyman get off the ball any quicker than he did that last play.
Well, if you wanted to pick a Foster's MVP from the defensive side of the ball for Saskatchewan, it might be Gary Lewis. But I suspect it's going to come from the offensive side because that's where McRae and the Roughriders have shone tonight. McRae picking up more valuable yardage, over 100 yards now on the game. 3:26 to play. Fourth quarter, 51-15.
14 years, Roger Alday has been playing at guard position and just tries to come down right onto the hip of the center and turn out on the first different colored jersey he finds, and he did a good job.
Need 2 yards for the first down. Again, they give it to McRae. McRae picks his spot, picks up the first down. Should have. Had to get over the 45-yard line, depending where they mark the ball. 3 minutes remaining to play. Fourth quarter, 51-15, Saskatchewan lead.
Norma, ma lo sai cosa è successo a Massimiliano? Sì, mi ha messo quello di...
In a rout for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, about to take the lead in the West over the Edmonton Eskimos with their 4th win of the season. They had the lead by 2 points. Kevin Dixon, the ball carrier that time. So Gregory really going to the bench now to give everybody a chance to play a little in this ball game.
Well, you know, you sit on that bench as a backup, and like right now, you see sitting behind Milson Jones and McRae and then Bresciani. You know, Dixon doesn't get a chance to play. You know, the game may be out of reach, but he doesn't know it. He'd like to go out there and do something really well, really great.
Austin, complete to Elgard. Elgard leaps over his own man, crashes down inside the 40-yard line. Patrick Wayne pulls him down. When Elgard is airborne, he's a missile.
Sure is, with 225 pounds moving straight ahead, but that was a well-thrown football by Austin. He's right on target now. It just seems like every series got sharper. Elgard caught it, turned upfield, and as you say, he went right over top. He's still a load to bring down.
A 27-yard gain for number 81, Elgard. He is now 4 yards shy of the all-time record held by Gluey Huey, who Ron Lancaster threw a couple of passes to in his time. 5,421 to 5,425.
I don't think there's any doubt he's going to get that this year.
Will he get it tonight? Will he get it on the next play? It took him a long time to get the #1 career reception mark for Saskatchewan.
I hope he gets it. Get it over with. Let's go.
2 records in one night possibility for Ray Elgard. The fans have to entertain themselves somehow here at Taylor Field, and they've got the wave going.
It's been a tough night for the Ottawa Roughriders. They come in here and catch a red-hot Saskatchewan team, and Tom Burgess wasted no time getting that offense in high gear, did he?
Darrell Hopper, the injured Ottawa Roughrider, a fair number of injuries for Saskatchewan tonight, but so far at least the Ottawa Roughriders have managed to escape the injury bug. But having said that, Hopper,
well, it looks like at least his is a hand. No big deal. He can run. This will heal. Right here, you see him taking the hit. Bang. Throws that arm up. Probably jammed that hand on Elgard. As you said, a 225 pounds airborne coming at you. Tough to stop.
So Hopper comes off with the injured hand, and he was just back from an injury. This was his first game back. Now all eyes on Mr. Elgard once again. needing 4 yards to surpass Hugh Campbell.
37-yard line.
Bresciani tries the right side. Gets across the 35-yard line. Met there by Patrick Wayne.
Well, they're trying to run the football, try to work on it, give those guys some work, eat up some time on the clock, but you get into a second down situation. I heard John Gregory tell Steve Austin, just use your head and move the football. Second down and 8, you would expect Austin to look for a short pattern to pick up a first down and keep that clock running and keep the football.
Second and 7, ball from the 34.
Uh-oh.
Dixon, lots of blocking. Dixon fumbles, but pulls it in at the 10-yard line. Larry Hogue there to make the stop.
Well, you got a good look at that moving screen or slip screen, whatever you want to call it. Dixon just swings out of the backfield, and it looked like the entire offensive line of Saskatchewan was over out there in front of him. Wave of white jerseys coming down the field. Elgard comes off. Man coverage, you block him. Stay with him. Just stay with him. Keep him out of the play. If he wants to go out of bounds, go with him.
And then Elgard got some help as Dixon was finally brought down. First and 10. They give to McRae. McRae down to the 5-yard line.
Oh, the Ottawa Roughriders, you know, now tonight they come in here and they get blown out pretty good. They don't have a whole lot to look forward to. On 17th, they've got the Edmonton Eskimos coming in. Now they got about a week or so to get ready. Got to try to just put this out of your mind. Forget it. It's gone. That's what Steve was saying today. Goldman, when he was telling, he says, when you get beat, you got to get it out of your system in a hurry. Let's go home, start to prepare. Another week, another game, and let's look forward instead of backwards.
Second down. Ball at the 5. 49 seconds to play. Austin over the middle and in and out of the arms of Ray Elgard, needing 4 yards. That would have given him another record, but he dropped it. Tyrone Pope covering on the play, and that would have given him another touchdown.
He's really dragging this thing out, isn't he?
He's building the drama.
Austin looking right for him too. We're going to see the interference call. Knock it, hit the camera. Elgard got the hand up. They called number 6 for interference. I think he just dropped the football.
With the penalty,
He's going to take an awful good hit. I did see that hit coming. That's Footy, the safety man, coming on a safety blitz, come through clean. Puts a pretty good shot on him. Now they're down to the 1-yard line, and let's see who gets it.
3 cracks from here. First and goal. They give to McRae. Touchdown! Ridgway makes it 58, and that's the most points in a game this season by any club. Saskatchewan now on top, 58-15. $112-20. You have to give that man a strong nod for Foster's MVP.
Here he comes again. Come right at you. Up. Get that head and shoulders down and just flick right into the end zone. Make sure when you go up in the air, get the head and shoulders down. Otherwise, you hang up there, some linebacker's going to stick you. You're going to get that head right in your chest, and you won't go any further. McRae's a good running back. We're really happy with him on him tonight. It's his first 2 touchdowns of the season coming in. You think with the way they've scored this season, he'd have a lot of them, but no, he got his first 2 of the season. I'll tell you, you got to feel for him. You know, he is doing
what's
a good
going
job.
on inside. I mean, he's got to feel torn apart.
You know what he's thinking about right now is what's he going to say to his club after the game. There's no sense hollering at him. They know they coming into this year, they were not good enough to compete with the top clubs in the league. All you have to do is look for some improvement week in, week out. He didn't get the improvement that he wanted tonight. He got a beating tonight that I don't think he was expecting to take. What he's got to do is just impress on these guys that we're going to get better. Look forward to Edmonton, because you better get ready for the Eskimos, and it's going to be right in Lansdowne Park.
Cornelius Reddick. Straight up the middle. Good speed. Finally bowled over at the 53, 54-yard line. Front block in there for Saskatchewan to lead the charge. Took him 3 minutes and 14 seconds to put the ball in the end zone. 9 plays, 75 yards, capped off by Tim McRae's second TD of the night. Saskatchewan has scored every which way in this game against their eastern cousins tonight. Kimbrough decides to run himself. And he gets across the 45-yard line. Dave Albright to make the stop.
Does a wise thing, too. Look, he steps up in the pocket, avoids the rush, takes off running, sees 3 white jerseys. He's surrounded. Get down. Don't take that extra hit. Goes to the hurry-up offense. It's a plus.
We've seen a lot of great games in the CFL this season. This isn't one of them. Kimbrough dancing around. Should have the first down by about a yard or 2 to spare. 9 seconds remaining to play until this long summer's night is over for Ottawa.
I'd like to see him step back now and send 4 of them going, and let's try to throw it in the end zone.
Why not?
Throw it into the end zone. Steve Goldman's been very honest with the people of Ottawa. I was up there a few weeks ago, watched them practice, had the opportunity to interview Steve and listen to him on some interviews. Very straightforward. He said, coming into this season, we did not have a competitive training camp because we didn't have good enough players. And he's been slowly trying to put a team together. He's not going to be happy about this game tonight, but he will get things going.
And Ron, I know you echo this sentiment. In spite of this setback tonight, as embarrassing as it might be, I know you wish Steve Goldman and General Manager Joanne Polak the best of luck, all the luck in the world in terms of getting the money from the Ottawa Carleton Regional District to keep this franchise alive.
See, that's another thing with Steve. I mean, with all the negative stuff that's been hitting them in the papers by a lot of people that don't understand things, Steve's had to keep that away from his players. Like, you talk about it, don't let it affect you, keep your minds on football, but you can't, in a city like that, go anywhere without people talking about it. It's very hard on the football players. Now, I'm not saying that's why they're losing, because it isn't. They've just got to get better as a football team, but you need everything in your favor when you're trying to win.
Well, it's a franchise worth saving, and I hope they vote to save it in the true democratic way. 9 seconds to play. 1st and 10. Ball at the 34. Kimbrough under pressure. Sacked. Bobby Jurison, 2nd sack of the game, 4th of the season. When he gets an arm on you, very few get away.
Yeah, it was funny talking to Ted Heath, the defensive coach of Saskatchewan. Their injuries out in BC forced them to move Bobby Jurison, the linebacker. You know, I remember seeing the game and seeing him back covering passes. I didn't realize he was playing linebacker, but they moved him back there and he did a good job. But this is what he does best, rush quarterbacks.
Should be the final play of the game. 2nd and 19 for the Ottawa Roughriders. Kimbrough looking downfield, puts it up. This is up for anyone, up for grabs. It's intercepted by Richie Hall, but a flag goes down, so the game cannot end on a penalty. So we are going to get another play at least, as Kimbrough put that one up. There were more white jerseys in the area than there were black, and it turned out to be an interception for Saskatchewan, but the penalty may nullify that. Here it is.
Bring a pass interference.
Forward pass interference. Saskatchewan number 9. 1st down, Ottawa.
Well, it's going to give one more shot to Kimbrough, a chance to throw his first touchdown pass. I'd like to see him do it. Just for him. It's not going to make any difference in the outcome of the game, but it's his first chance he's had to play that season.
First down, Ottawa.
Showed a little bit of poise, running ability, scrambling, threw the ball fairly well. He might as well cap it off with a touchdown.
Why not, indeed? Would do wonders for the rookie's confidence. Should be the last play of the game. No time showing on the scoreboard clock. Kimbrough with time, fires over the middle. And it is a touchdown. In and out of the arms of a couple of Saskatchewan Roughriders. Gerald Alphin, who has not been busy all night long, comes up with a touchdown. So Kimbrough gets his first CFL TD.
Well, it is good for Kimbrough. He just sets back in the pocket. Alpha turns right under the goalpost. He let it go. And as you say, I thought it was intercepted twice. He threw that ball very hard. He does have a strong arm, but I thought it was intercepted twice before it got there. Good concentration by Alfred. He gets the touchdown. So Dorsey gets to kick another point.
Dorsey will try to make it 22. So the margin will be somewhat more respectable for the Ottawa Roughriders. Dorsey puts it up between the uprights, and that makes it 58-22. The final score here at Taylor Field in Regina tonight. It was all Saskatchewan Roughriders and John Gregory. Saskatchewan picking up their 4th win of the season. A 58-22 drubbing of the Ottawa Roughriders.